Portugal.
That's the real Italian accent right there.
Yep.
Not like mine. All right. I'm beginning.
Art.
Okay. When last we left you, Blue Hearts, having rescued Donric from the Pale Moon's clutches, you set about trying to find a solution to the undead army massing in the snowy Viridian ruins. You discover that the structure they were raising from the city's crater were the remains of a precursor ship, and the revenants were trying to make it operational. You journeyed to Ordanul and obtained a device from Dr. Calanthus to disable the craft. Then you contacted Medici in order to seek his recommendation on the undead problem. Medici proposed channeling your Avatar Stone's power into his staff, allowing him to use this power to simulate the Song of Creation and move the city into the void of space. You made your way to the precursor craft, disabled it, then returned to enact Medici's plan. After receiving the power from your stones, he announced that a sacrifice had to be made to complete the spell, and he promptly teleported himself into the center of the city to complete the ritual. Medici, along with Viridian and all the undead inside it, were teleported far into the reaches of space. Afterward, you checked in on the Lady of Change and discovered that she was recuperating inside the massive flesh cocoon beneath the monastery ruins. You returned home to Arcadia with Donric in tow, so that is where we pick up. Having finally returned to your homes for a brief bit of rest and relaxation, you are left to plan your next moves and wrap up any final loose ends. Blue Hearts, what do you wish to do?
Oh God, yo.
So what do we got left?
Let's check the list.
All right, Sean Connery.
They're just jumping right to her
So-
adventure checklist.
So you're painting the picture. You've all just exited from your ritual room, having come in through a teleportation circle, making your way up to the tavern floor. It's about, I'd say about afternoon time. You can smell Holg's cooking wafting from the kitchen. Agatha and Baldric are running around frantically trying to serve the customers. Donric feels extremely out of place. I don't know how you want to deal with that particular situation.
Is Patrick here?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's been.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to tab back to the chat tab.
Yeah.
Oh, I just now saw Patrick's response to our discussion of our childhood fears. Holy shit! I'm sorry. I forgot that Patrick uses Roll20 to chat with us.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Liza. Liza is typing. Okay, so you've got Donric. You've got your compound. Seems pretty secure. Seems like another day at the Dapper Snapdragon. Everyone's busy at work.
We got quite a bit.
First of all, we need to get Donric
Somewhere.
somehow, somewhere. I think.
What did you say, Mel? You kind of went far away.
Sorry, I laid down on the floor.
Yep.
Tracks. Anyway, go on.
I said we
just now
need to get Donric
subliminal.
reintegrated somewhere somehow. I guess he's technically been dead the past decade.
Yeah, but nobody really knows him.
It's true. It would be
Um,
easy to.
Yeah. So, Verna, you're starting to kind of guide Donric out of the tavern and out into the sunlight. Do you say anything to him? Okay. So you step outside onto the it's been so long. I forgot what season we're in. I think it's spring, right? Does that sound right? Yeah, because yep. So it's a little bit cooler. Nice weather. The flowers on the storm oak are blossoming around the courtyard and the temple underneath. I'd say that Donric seems unsure. He says, "Well, I'm not sure. I've known nothing but death and war for so long. I don't quite know what to do with myself now." Well, that is a fair point. Verna, it's been 30 years. My home, my comrades, except for you and Maidoania and Emmeline, are gone. I don't really have anywhere to go home to. He nods thoughtfully and he says, "Very well, but I insist that I can be of use around here. I would not be satisfied sitting idle. Perhaps I can have a discussion with your guards."
Hmm.
Well, it is a start. I'm not saying that I want to live here as a guard for a tavern, but it'll give me some time to think. I'd say claps you on the shoulder. Just this very hearty, just kind of pats your shoulder. It shakes your whole body just from the impact of his hearty slap, and he just grins ear to ear and he says, "Thank you, my friend." He nods to you and he says, "Well, if you could just point me in the direction of your guard captain, maybe I can have a word with them." Okay, so you direct Donric over to Dagalier, who is currently standing guard at the front gates. I'd say the two of them have you leave the two of them as they have a discussion and begin talking things over. And then after that, you return to the Dapper Snapdragon, unless there's anything else you wish to discuss with Donric or say to him, or you can rejoin your group. So Verna has returned to the rest of you with this question. How do you wish to proceed from here?
All right.
While we're still in Arcadia, about that weapon of yours?
Also, Cecil, I think you said you wanted to buy chalk, right?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me.
No problem.
What's required? Can I?
It's in
What was the
game.
spell that I
Oh, sorry.
needed money for?
Hero's Feast.
Yeah, can I get fucking
Can I get some fucking gem encrusted goblets?
Yeah, is there somewhere where I could get one or two of those?
I'd say that
to
with your
facilitate the spell?
assets, you can definitely track down a a fine art establishment in the city or some kind of antique store, and probably get two of them. I'd say that's the most you can find in the city. These are pretty expensive, rare. I mean,
Sure.
you might find others in other locales, or maybe like in the homes of very rich people, but not kind of for sale mostly.
Are there any other spells that I need to have materials for?
True Seeing, if you use it a lot.
Not that
Oh, it's
often.
today.
I think I still have like one use of it left.
Let's take a look. Does Ethereal Misuse anything? I don't think it does. No.
I mean, you've kind of handpicked what I need to make sure I have materials
just
for.
things that are consumed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So
okay.
things that have material components that get consumed. For example, the ones that I can think of off the top of my head for you are True Seeing, Hero's Feast, and any of the resurrection spells.
Oh yeah, diamond.
I think I have the diamonds for resurrection spells, don't I?
Yeah, I think you have a lot of those just sitting in your vault. You can have some of your compound employees like convert some of your platinum or gold into diamonds if that's what you want to do. There are banks and exchanges in the city for that kind of thing. So instead of being very fiddly with the material components, you can just sort of exchange the money in your vault for what you need.
Put it on order.
Although some things are going to be a little bit more limited. Like obviously, you can probably find enough diamonds on a short notice to, power a Raise Dead or a Revivify spell, but things like Resurrection or True Resurrection are going to be a little more difficult to pull together the diamonds for.
Do I have any 1000 GP diamonds?
Is that for resurrection?
Yeah. I feel like I should have at least one.
I think you probably have at least one. I'm gonna say for true resurrection, that's a little different, considering that's 25,000
Oh no,
gold
I don't
worth of
have it. I
diamonds.
don't have any true resurrection uses. I also don't have it prepared. It's not even in my.
Yeah, I
spell
know.
book.
I'm just saying, like, in case you ever wanted to prepare that spell, you likely would need to pull together the money for it, or the diamonds for it. That's not
Well,
something you can just
Unless
like
someone gets
easily do.
disintegrated, or we want to resurrect someone from the last 200 years who died a long time ago, I don't think that we're gonna need true res. But I suppose disintegration is more of a likelihood now than it would have been before. So
Yeah, everybody's gonna have laser rifles. That's not true. Don't worry about that.
all right. So I'll just say that we spent 2,000 gold for the heroes feast.
Okay, so that's gonna be 2 uses of it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Sissel wants to get some chalk.
Yeah. I guess 10 uses worth because.
Okay, so teleportation circle 10 uses is gonna run you about 500 gold, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's not.
It's
Unless
not
you're-
a problem anymore.
Yeah, I know. I'm just letting you know. So
yep,
that's
yep.
5. Subtract another 500.
Yep.
You kind of take a brief trip, a brief reluctant trip down to Charlie Tan's Magic Emporium. Pick up what you need.
I'm a
Try not to make
regular
eye
at this
contact.
point.
Okay.
Got my shit.
Does
Cough
Harith
at the Arcadia
need?
McDonald's ASMR.
Does Harith need components for true seeing?
Yeah, let me see what my current stash
Oh,
is.
if we're subtracting gold from the party amount, let me know. I've only besides the ones the 2,000 I just subtracted.
I think 500 for Sissel's, unless Sissel's buying her own.
Yeah, I'm buying my own.
Okay.
That was out of my personal gold.
All right.
My notes say I still have 5 components left, so I
Okay.
think I'm good.
Alrighty, cool. Just the oil drops made from fat and mushrooms.
Is that really what it is?
Yes.
An ointment for
That's
the eyes
gross.
made from mushroom powder, saffron, and fat.
My
Hi-
roommates made some of them.
You just
I
have
hope
the
it goes
ointment and you
around
rub
your
in your
eye
eyes.
and not on in your eye. That sounds like it'd be awful.
It's an ointment, not an eye drop. That would be kind of gross if you just shoved this
Yeah.
ointment in your eye.
Ooh.
Ugh. Yeah. Okay. So you spend, I'd say, probably like an hour to an hour and a half taking care of any shopping errands you need to take care of, getting the ingredients you need for your consumable spells, and other than that, you could probably in the afternoon, Hulk probably cooks you some lunch made to order, and if you want to have his special lunch where you get the advantage point, we can do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Special
We
lunch.
haven't done that in a
Special
while.
lunch.
Special lunch.
In a while.
lunch, it has
So
been.
yep. So he serves you whatever you ask for. If you take, if you give him individual orders, he makes you a nice custom dish of whatever you request, and you can chat on that for the afternoon and gain a point of DM advantage, inspiration, basically.
That down.
So mark that off on your character sheet. You have DM inspiration.
All right. So, what more do we need to do?
Well, we have a lot on our list.
We've crossed off a lot on that.
We have crossed off a lot.
We've crossed off 1, 2, 4, 5, and 13.
That's it. Well, yeah.
Medici kind of.
He kind of crossed himself off. Just
No.
He kind of crossed himself off.
Yeah, that's actually impressive. You've done like half of this already.
Yeah.
oh,
The pale moon is something that is happening no matter what. That's in what, like a month or 2 or
That's-
3?
That's
That's
like
our-
90 days, probably, or not 90
Okay.
days, like maybe a month and a half.
That's our point of no return.
Yeah.
That's when you have to make your final save point.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. How do we want to do this? We can go Verna, we can check out we can try to get to Ogma's domain as the Justice's gavel. We could head to Roscoe's dimension. Hades, if you want, we can go to the City of the Dead.
Possible. I think I'll probably need to try to do a little historic research before we go there. I kind of want to have at least an idea of what I might say.
Fair
Wait,
enough.
for what thing?
City of the
For
Dead.
that's renegotiating the
Oh,
pact.
You
both
want
times
to?
Mel said it, it was very quiet. I was like, what is Mel
Sorry.
saying?
Well, you
City
know
of
Mel.
the Dead.
Is he lying
Sometimes
on
he
the ground
whispers like
again?
a butterfly.
Sometimes I'm lying on the floor.
Looking at this
Some-
list, 13 kind of crossed itself off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
We were just saying that.
Wonder if we can edit this and do strike through.
Probably.
Not in.
Just strike through's a good idea. Don't delete anything.
No, I can't even edit.
Yeah, they got rid of editing. Can I edit my own though? I can edit my
Sure.
own. Does strike through work on
I think you
inline?
do a double dash.
Well,
no, not.
no, it's not gonna work because it's an inline.
Yeah, not.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
You could make it a markdown,
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
markdown in line, and
That'd be a mess. I'm not gonna do that.
Could you just put like an X next to the things that we've done?
We could. I could do that.
yeah, that works.
That's a good idea. I will do that. So, I'll put like, you know what I'll do? I will put like a little, like a checkbox sort of thing, so people can understand what's finished, what's not.
Keep misreading Sigil as Sigil.
as Sigzil.
Sigil.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see if this works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Save. All right. Does that work? Does that look good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
I think at this point, I want to use my video game brain, and I am
It's
prone to
probably
follow my
accurate.
video game brain's whims. I feel like it would be benefiting us the most, and we don't have to do this. This can be whatever order we want. I feel like the sooner we get the Justice's gavels figured out, the more times that Verna can take advantage of its special abilities.
That is true.
If we wait until the last, if it's like the last thing we do, all she's originally gonna have for the last battle. What good is that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Mhm.
good, but it won't be as fun for Patrick if he can't use his cool, strong
Verna's
weapon.
Final Fantasy Ultima weapon. Get
It really is the ultimate weapon. I can't
Go,
remember
let's
Yeah.
go,
the
let's
stats for it.
go.
It's so stupid.
Let's get.
Look, I don't get an Ultima weapon, so I need to live vicariously through Patrick.
It
Gotham.
also seems like hopefully maybe like a smaller side quest that we could do before we go back to going
yeah,
Super Saiyan.
Maybe after watching our weird nemesis, sort of out, whatever the fuck Medici is. Maybe after watching him like seemingly sacrifice himself, maybe we could just do with like maybe a less like narratively like insane plot for a day
so
or
as
two.
far as
Don't
we
say
know.
that. Don't say.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. I'm just saying it won't be like.
Less
Don't say
narratively
that.
intense, he says, knowing his DM.
Don't
No,
say
you know
that.
what I meant.
I know what you mean, and I'm saying don't say that with foul.
Look,
Hey,
unless
forget about
every every person that in this party that has died that they all love is inside that Justice's gavel. We have to encounter that shit again. I don't think it's going to be as narratively as intense as saving one of Verna's best friends from being an undead fucking whatever, and also watching Medici fucking transport himself into space.
I have to go. My planet needs me.
All right.
So to answer your question, Patty, the last time you saw the Justice's gavel, you had given it into safekeeping with, let me find their name, uh, head artifact cataloger. His name was Azak Karelon. He was the Dragonborn in Ordanul, and it was the artifact cataloger for sort of their magical science wing of the city. So you basically kind of discovered what its origin was, and then kept it there for safekeeping, since you couldn't at the time control it without suffering its curse.
So what do we have to do for? We have to figure out a way to
Cleanse it.
Cleanse it with Ogma's blessing. So we need to go to Ogma's domain for
What?
Verna just explodes.
Patrick loves to take advantage of the fact that he's usually muted on microphone by just rolling things at random just for the dramatic effect.
we're sitting around discussing getting Verna's gavel back, and then Verna just
Verna just drops dead in front of you.
Verna just self-destructs like the androids in Nier Automata.
Verna's soul bond to her armor flickers for a moment. Sorry, I've been watching Full Metal Alchemist
Oh my
again.
god.
Oh,
it's a good
Good.
show.
it's a good show.
It's a good show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good dogs, Brent.
So you did. I think at the time, this was a long time ago. I want to say that you did this like over a year ago, maybe a year and a half.
When did
This was
get
you left this thing off before you even started going after the Avatar Stone. So this is a while ago.
No, we got Sissels first.
You did get Sissels first, and then you brought it to Ordanul. But then before you started seeking out the rest of them, you dropped the Justice's gavel off with the Dragonborn there.
Oh
Yes, I did.
yeah.
So I want to say that was probably somewhere around October of 2019.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Please.
The passage of time.
Oh god.
Time makes fools of us all.
Oh, especially last year.
Yeah. So I know at the time you did like you got a little bit of understanding of how you would go about cleansing it, and step one was getting your Avatar Stone, so you have that.
Yeah.
And then you have to receive Agma's blessing and then use that blessing to then go inside the weapon and defeat the presence within it.
So we gotta get a blessing from Grandpa.
Yeah.
How do we do that? Dear God.
Dear Granddad.
Dear D&D God, how do we... Yeah, like, I kind of got, like, a handout when it came to going to my God's domain. How do we get to Ogma's domain?
Well, you know this already. You did a little bit of research on
We
this.
do?
Yeah. Ogma's in the Outlands, which is in the same
right.
plane as Sigil, the City of Doors.
Oh, fuck. Could I just... No, I don't want to go to Sigil. That place is scary.
You don't have...
The city's got a lot of capitalism and
It's bureaucracy, but yeah.
bureaucracy, whatever, same thing.
It's It's
What if
Verna
we go
Town.
back and all the big goats want to arrest us?
Why
It's
would they
not
want to
like they
arrest?
know it was us.
I don't know. We don't know what they know.
Well, as long as a certain someone didn't snitch.
Well, no, he didn't even go back there, did he? Didn't he like? Wait, what happened to 20 something? 24?
I don't
23?
remember which number was he.
He was like 23F or something.
Yeah, 24F or something like. No, that would be me.
Phew.
Fucking 24.
What happened to him? I forget.
He helped you. He brought you into the planar bastion and helped you get to one of the doors, and that was it. He's fine.
Oh, it was just that I encouraged him to
2F.
come visit our dimension after that was saved from certain doom.
Yes.
I for some reason rewrote my memory into thinking that he literally left that dimension and just fucking.
Oh no, and he's still there. He hasn't taken his vacation
Well,
days
I mean,
yet.
if he snitched, they probably would have sent like the time police after us or whatever. So he probably didn't snitch.
The vegan cops.
Yeah.
No, he's friends now with the spider lady.
Yeah.
Spider lady that we were supposed to fight, but then Heraith rolled like a 37 or something.
Convinced her
Yeah,
not
that's
to
right.
be good, be a good demon.
Yeah. I looked at my notes. His name is 2F, who I also think is coincidentally an Arknight's character.
Oh.
It's milk and eggs.
Yes,
bitch.
12F.
12F. That's who it was.
Close.
Close.
What was the thing that guy ate that he thought was vegan?
What?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember something unrelated.
Okay. All right. So you have a path forward. You know what you have to do. You know where you have to go to do it. Is there anything you want to prepare? Is there anything you want to do?
Before we go, Heraith, did you want to see if the Arcadian library had anything that might help you?
I could. I do need to check there at some point. Oh, I have to go over my own character plot so I remember what I'm doing.
Do you want me to give you a
I mostly
recap?
remember. I remember thinking that I would at some point want to research whatever I can find, wherever I can find it, about the history of either Convor, or also if there's any recorded history of the Pact or of the Scalds at all that I could try to.
I'd say that probably not public knowledge. I
Right.
think you're sensible enough to know that it's not going to be something you'd find in a library.
Yeah.
You could probably research Kellenvor. Like, you can certainly find out about the deity himself.
Yeah, I would definitely still want to do that.
Okay.
But we can do that at any
yeah.
old time. If
Okay.
if this is the afternoon, and we just did we just do with the zombies? Yeah, we just kind of went through a bunch, so we could either do it now or later.
No. I'm but the DM. You have to tell me what you want to do.
Well, if we have an afternoon, I guess I'll go and do some light reading about gods, which is very so typical of my character.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd say you probably would head down to the Academy's library, despite the rocky relationship pun that you have with Umber. You are still got a library card for the Academy's library, and you can spend the afternoon doing some research if you want on Kellenborg. What did you want to find out?
I'm just thinking I probably don't know too much, so I would trying to think what on earth I would be trying to find out. Like, I know that we've been able to make deals with him, so if there's any like recorded history of like stories or tales of making deals with him, or changing terms of them, or like how mutable does he seem to be on certain things? If he has any, particular points that have like incited him to be willing to change the terms of something.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. What you discover about Kalimvor is that he is one of the few deities who probably, and despite being a god of death, he is one of the few deities who has a pretty big sympathy for mortals. And the reason for that is that he was once mortal himself.
Mm-hmm.
Kalimvor used to be a mortal mercenary and ended up slaying and replacing the previous god of death, who was an evil god of death who tortured and punished people. Ever since then, he's tried to maintain sort of that sense of balance, the sense of blind judgment, regardless of how someone was in life, just judging them fairly based upon their actions. He considers he was also an itinerant gambler. He in life, so that's kind of carried on to death, obviously. He believes that fate and luck in its own is also a form of impartiality, because you know the dice can roll however they will. When he makes deals with people, he usually stands by them, and he expects those who make that deal to hold up their end of the bargain as well. He's not want to change the terms of an arrangement short of just a very significant show of good faith by the person who wants to change it.
Okay.
Usually that ends up there are sacrifices that need to be made in order to get him to change it.
Okay.
Which is kind of what you gathered from both Dagald and Magram, that basically he would allow the souls of the previous Scalds and the previous Steel Songs to go free, but in exchange for the soul of one.
Okay. All right. I will ponder this and return to the Dapper Snapdragon.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have any thing that they want to look into or pursue?
On my part.
Ellen or Goff? Nothing?
Nothing I can think of.
Is that a no, Tom?
We know that Ogma is in the same plane as the city of Doors, right?
Yes.
Do we know how to get there?
You do. I believe you did some research on this before you left to go to Sigil, because this was actually part of your research of Sigil. You used Walden's little BodeNet thing and discovered a whole lot of information about Sigil and about the realm where Sigil exists.
I think I missed that session.
You might have.
I think I was not there for the first session in Sigil.
Okay. Do you want me to give you a rundown of what you discovered? Because your character would know this stuff.
I mean, if it's
it's probably a good refresher for everybody.
Sure.
Okay. So the Outland is a plane of true neutrality. When you look at the Great Wheel of Cosmology in the multiverse, each plane tends to correspond to an alignment on like the lawful chaotic and the good evil axes. Outland just sits square in the middle. And as a result, it ends up being sort of a hub, a nexus to access all those other outer planes. Sigil sits in the very center of the Outlands on this very tall mountain, and about 600 miles from the center of Outlands are these 16 towns called gate towns, and each gate town has a portal to one of the outer planes, and they sort of correspond to in theme to those outer planes. For example, the gate town that leads to the abyss has a kind of this demonic presence with twisted metal and stuff, and it's really gnarly. Of course, in the Outlands itself, once you move beyond that 600-mile stretch, so you have that 600 miles where the gate towns are in like a ring around the Outlands. Beyond that are these huge, expansive valleys and pastoral landscapes that go on endlessly. And within this area, beyond those gate towns, is a demiplane known as the House of Knowledge, and that is where Ogma resides. The House of Knowledge is this sweeping area with tall forests and rolling hills that most of the towns out there are very pastoral villages where they raise livestock or hunt local game. So that's mostly what you know about where Ogma lives, where he exists. So the House of All Knowledge is just like this big open area, and then within there somewhere, scattered throughout the House of Knowledge are these buildings called the Libraries of All Knowledge, and they contain information about every spell, magical item, song, fact, or anything else about the entire universe.
Wow.
And they're kind of
if one of us is playing a wizard.
yeah. They
Good thing we're not, huh?
So these libraries are kind of scattered throughout piecemeal throughout the wilderness. They're like the knowledge is obviously not contained in one central place. It's kind of disseminated throughout all these different buildings. Ogma is known to visit a lot of these buildings on occasion, just in his travels and his wanderings. And then sometimes he might be just found wandering the forests of the House of Knowledge, plucking his loot.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. How do we get to the City of Doors the first time?
You just plane shifted.
Oh. Did you have Goff do that when I wasn't there?
This was a while ago. I don't remember.
Wait, does someone else have plane? Just rate that
Does
plane
Sissel have
shift?
something on her
Sissel has
staff?
plane shift on
Sissel
Yeah.
has.
Yeah, but you didn't have it then, did you?
You
Not
must
then.
have just had Goff do it
Yeah,
because
I
I
think we
probably
just
would have
had
done it
Goff
anyway.
do it because Sissel
That's fine.
didn't
No, I
have
was
it
just
back then.
Yeah.
because Goff had been there before, so he was able to guess. He's probably able to put everyone in the lobby of the City of Doors.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
But we don't know how to get out of the City of Doors, do we?
The City of Doors, being the hub nexus, actually contains within the planar bastion portals to each gate town. So you basically can hop into a portal in the planar bastion. It'll warp you 600 miles out to the gate town, and then you can just go from there.
But
you don't know where, like out in that vast wilderness.
I have a different but. But it's the City of Doors. Thus,
it is the
it's
City of Doors.
A bureaucratic city. Thus, us getting into one of those portals is not going to be a stress.
Correct. Now, there are other means to get to the Outlands that don't require you to go to the City of Doors.
Is there a portal? Is there a gate town that's connected to Elysium?
There is.
Is it two ways or one way?
It's two ways.
So if we find it in Elysium, we could theoretically enter through there and then already be at a gate town.
Correct. Yes, you can do that.
Or another. Have you been in other dimensions that we could use?
I don't think you've been to any others. You haven't. So
the only dimensions we've been to are Dog Dimension, Elysium,
Zenoria.
Well, Zenoria is not gonna have a gate town.
Neither is Dog Dimension. Dog Dimension is like another parameter.
So the only one that has a door that's connected to a gate town that we've been to is probably Elysium.
Elysium, yeah. You haven't been to any of these other places. I'm looking down the list of the other 15 outer planes you've not been to.
We'll go to the Abyss, but that's not yet.
Yeah.
Now we're putting that off until we're over leveled enough. So.
Shit.
Well, for some of us, it's not us who are going. Or
No,
unless
you
I
are.
have to play.
You are.
I
We're
have to
just
play
gonna
Gear 7.
we're gonna split the party a little bit and have different
Oh
groups on different
boy.
nights playing different
I
people.
That's
cannot.
Oh
exciting.
boy.
I
That
want.
sounds fun.
I want to play my girl again.
Yeah, gonna get to bring the gays back
You can bring
to make
As
them go
for-
to super hell.
they can be level 19 or 20 whenever you guys go there too. So
Oh,
that'll be
Oh,
fun.
man,
I gotta look
power.
stuff up.
Oh my god. Red, I
Seven's
wanna
gonna
plan
walk in
spells
and
with
the
you
whole room's
because
gonna
I
turn
You
feel
still
like
gotta
silent.
find 7 though. You don't know where he is, right?
Yeah. Well,
Also,
we might run into him.
whenever we do, I kind of want to plan spells with you when we do that.
Yeah.
You like
I can't.
they would coordinate.
I can't wait for the pre-arc story where we have a fucking like Ocean's 11 situation where we have to go find all the people that are going to help us kill this demon.
Hell yeah.
That's
That'll be
exciting.
fun. Oh yeah. Well, and Dune has to come too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Damn.
Dude.
Remember when we just found that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Crazy.
just chilling.
He was just hanging out. Okay.
Well,
So you can
anyway,
go to Elysium.
that's probably the easiest way.
Yeah.
I'm sure that, I mean, this is Tom saying this. I'm sure that with my character being a pretty significant servant of his goddess, he could probably get a connection to get us to that portal.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
I'd rather not have to go through the bureaucracy of.
I think they
Fuck
would.
that.
I feel like they would understand Goff taking us through Elysium to avoid the bureaucracy city.
Because otherwise we're gonna have to like work around it again, and that's dangerous
Mhm.
potentially. Because don't they? Doesn't that the sea that has like the fucking constructs that like
The inevitables, yeah.
that like can't die and kill everyone in one hit or
Well,
whatever
they
the fuck
can
it is
they
that they
can
do.
die, but they automatically hit you for 60 damage
Right, like
multiple times
yeah,
around.
it's like their stats are their traits and stats are just insane. They're just basically like they kill the party. Like that's what they exist to do.
They're like the guards from Oblivion.
They're very nasty.
Yeah.
Halt, criminal scum!
You
Oh.
violated the law.
You violated the law.
Hey.
Yeah?
Can I play one of those constructs in the next game and automatically hit for 60 plus?
No.
Times around.
God.
What if I write a really good
We may be getting
backstory?
getting to that game this year, so people need to shore up their characters.
Yeah,
I-
I know. I keep meaning
can't-
to. I'm
I am-
sorry.
Oh my god, I have to think about a character that isn't Ellen.
You do.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I've been thinking about mine. I just haven't gotten around to rating stuff up, and I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. It will
Okay.
be done.
Yeah. It'll happen. Not worried.
Anyway.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like we're gonna have to make a little detour to Elysium.
All right. Where do you
Just
want to
to-
portal in?
So wait, just to clarify, you go beyond the gate towns, further away from.
Yeah, let me show you a picture.
Sigil.
Let me show you.
Is it in any direction, or is the force of,
You-
is the
You don't know. It's somewhere.
Here's the question.
Here's a picture of. I post this picture a lot, but here's a picture of Outlands. I'm gonna put it in as Wiggle. That's what it looks like. The Sigil is in the center on that big tall mountain, and then around the edges are the 16 gate towns.
Oh, so we would have had to get down from the mountain somehow.
No, like I said, Sigil has a teleport basically from Sigil to each of those gate towns.
Well, fuck, I was thinking it was more like this.
What?
I'm sorry. Joke done. I had to do it really quick. Sorry.
Hey, do
Yeah?
people in Elysium like to party much?
Yeah, why?
Think they could find a disco there?
I was half expecting that.
Sorry, I'm done. Had to do it.
So
Um,
which of these towns is connected to Elysium?
Ecstasy, otherwise known as the city of Plinths. I'm reading the wiki because I don't know.
Plinths?
The city of Plinths.
What's it a plinth?
Just like a really tall, like monolith or pedestal.
Oh,
That
It's an
joke was
interesting
so
name
bad.
for a-
Patrick left roll 20.
Don't blame him.
Also, yeah. Oh, a plinth is like those like tiny little columns that you put things on top of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just googled it.
Yep. So, at the center of Ecstasy is a plinth called the Bone Plinth, and on top of that plinth is the portal to Elysium. So that's where you would end up coming in.
Bone.
There's actually a map of Ecstasy. It's not very good. It's like 140 pixels wide.
I suppose any information we would need that we could find would probably be found along the way.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think we're gonna find anything in Arcadia more than we already
Like,
have.
so you're not. No.
We could maybe ask other past champions. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should probably start. I mean, probably the most chill place for us to warp to would be the Great Garden. Is that what it's called?
Either the Great Garden or so that's the place where Aaron Galareth oversaw. You also know of the True Grove, which is where Eldath's seat is.
That seems a little like maybe inappropriate to just bounce into.
Well, you also don't know where the portal is. It probably is in the True Grove. I actually don't know where it is. I'm actually.
Well, I guess
looking up to see
I
if
guess
it's
we
a-
could warp in outside of the True Grove, but not like literally into her like fucking.
Oh yeah, you're
throne
not gonna
room.
be in her throne room or whatever, or her grove itself. Like
I'm probably not even able to like actually warp into it. It's probably got protection.
she can deny it, and she's a deity. She can just be like, no one comes in here.
Yeah.
Me day today.
Well, I was just trying to think like, no, I was thinking of the Great Garden because I was thinking who's a person who with a lot of knowledge, and I was thinking of Aaron.
Yeah, that's true.
She would probably know something. Alternatively, I don't know how much you let Kauta know, but she'd probably know something, but I don't know where she is. She could be fucking anywhere.
Kauta could be like.
Yeah.
I have no leash on Kauta since I stopped playing her a long time ago. I have no idea where she's walking
Where
around.
did she come from? Where did she go?
It's from Kauta. That's how it is.
Where did she go? Where did she go? Yeah, I do not know.
I mean, there's probably other people. Wasn't there like a village surrounding the True Grove?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
There's people
That's
there.
actually where Kauta and Esmond
Do they live there?
Well, you don't know, but you know that was the last time you saw them. They kind of gave you a boat and let you go on the river Oceanus and just bid you farewell.
Save us time. We should probably just go right to that outer village then, because otherwise we'd have to ride the river. Because wasn't the Great Garden up the river, down the river from there?
Yeah. It was actually past it was past another domain. I'm forgetting the name of it.
Past Eglig's domain.
Eglig's domain, yeah. I don't remember the name of it. It was like a pastoral village on a lake.
Applebee.
Yeah. Oh man, I wonder how that village is doing. He's gone, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gone.
Jeez. You sure you can't cast True Resurrection on a spirit of a?
You need a soul to cast it on.
God damn. Horseshit. Magic sucks. What good is it?
Gray Man sucks. He just obliterated a few people's souls at this point.
But the Gray Man has a neck beard.
Yeah. It goes all the way down.
No.
What? Is he a gorilla?
No, he's just got a long beard.
I don't.
Okay, for a sec, the image
Anyway.
that put in my head was not the image that I think you intended it to be.
Probably not.
Moving on.
He just has a big long gray beard. Anyway.
All right. Well, I suppose that I know our location. So once we're ready, I know where to take us.
Okay.
And from there, we're just gonna have to start asking people for help because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think we can do anything else but that.
You can't. No.
commune is not going to get me the answers I need. I mean, it can direct me towards them, but it can't.
Oh, actually, have you communed today?
You did.
Oh, bollocks.
You communed
I
with
did.
Eldath to find out about Medici and about the undead city.
What's today?
It's the same day.
Immediately after that stuff happened, Goff basically was like, "Did all of this really happen?" Because we weren't really sure.
Yeah, I remember now.
If I remember correctly, he did do what he said he was going to do.
Yep.
We don't know the status of his soul or whether he's alive or not, and I forget what the third thing was.
The ship was truly disabled, and the undead are stranded in the depths of space.
So the plan, by all accounts, succeeded. We just don't know Medici's actual status.
Yeah.
Which means he probably had a backup plan because he always has a backup plan.
Also, Eldath isn't a god of death, so she necessarily would not know these things.
That's fair.
Maybe we'll pay a visit to the Goth Dragonborn.
Oh yeah, Darmistan. Yeah.
Yeah.
the diviner of Calimbor.
Yeah.
In Ordinol. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why did we talk to that person before again?
We asked if Medici was really dead.
That's right. We're always asking these people questions about.
Is this fucker dead finally?
When's he gonna die?
Is he dead? Where's his soul? Where is his soul? Tell me.
Play fucking Medici whack-a-mole this entire game. Where's he gonna show up? What's gonna happen when we think he dies? He's probably still alive. Where's his clone? Motherfucker's got Medici's got a fucking elven clone in the closet of every town on this fucking planet.
Yeah. He's got a little clone in a pocket dimension right now with Moira and Luma and no.
No, he doesn't. It's not his clone anymore. He lost that clone when it started to gain sentience. So
he lost the rights to that clone.
He lost the rights.
And I think he did say he was like.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna do anything anymore to that to Elise. He promised, for what that's worth.
I think after seeing like his son, Ellen believes the promise.
All right, so you know the way to get there. You know what you need to do. Anything else you want to do before you take a nice, good long rest? Because I'm assuming you're going to take a long rest unless you want to just keep plowing through.
In there.
I think we should all sleep in our own beds for a night before we proceed.
We show up at Eldath's front door, bags under our eyes. Just, hey, Mom. Where's the portal? All right. Yeah, we should take a long rest.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right, so you all turn in for the evening, and get a good, nice long rest. Don't forget to refill all your points.
Points.
Wraith.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Oh no.
I love how much Alex is like Travis
It's
Willingham.
been a while. It's been a while since we had one of those.
Oh
Wraith. As you turn in for the evening, you are beset by odd dreams. You find yourself standing on a snowy cliff overlooking the frigid wastes. In the distance looms the throne of the world. And as your vision comes into focus in this dreamscape, you notice, sitting at the edge of the cliff, overlooking the wastes, is the diminutive figure of Dagald Steelsong. And he's just looking ahead quietly.
I will walk up to join him.
He sort of arches his head toward you, and seeing you approach, and he smiles, and the crow's feet at his eyes wrinkle a little bit. And then he turns and he gazes up back at the mountain, and he says, it's always only been a month since you left my tutelage, but I can see you've already grown so much.
Well, when you properly forge something, then you truly see what it's capable of. That's how I feel about what we did back then.
So, what's next for the great Hiraeth Steel Song?
Feels like there's a bunch of ways I could answer that question, but seems to me like I have to find a way to defy fate. Not even once, like 2 or 3 different times. We have a lot of odds stacked against us.
You'll do it then? Or at least try? Bartering with the god of death?
I'm going to try my damnedest.
Well, I think if anyone could try it, it's you. You've already beaten him more than once. He just sort of stares off toward the mountain.
Do you think... I know I've asked already that the pact that we made, this power must be held by someone. It's not like we can just leave an absence there where something is, but if not substitute what supports that, do you think we can substitute what it is that holds that power, or what the power itself is?
Oh, I don't know. I think that the god of death has granted our bloodline a rare and unique gift, but there have been consequences.
I think it's... I mean, you would know more than anyone else. It's a pretty impossible burden for one person to bear.
It is. But sometimes a hero is forged not in the gifts they are given, but in what they do with the choices they must make.
I suppose you're right.
Sorry, what did you say? I didn't
Oh,
hear
I
what you...
said, yeah, I suppose you're right.
He kind of stares up at the mountain, and he's very quiet for a long time. And then he looks down and he says, I know we haven't known one another long, Hiraeth. For so long I lived in hiding, running from the things I'd done, believing I had only brought misery to this world. But with you, well, whatever happens, I take some comfort in knowing I think maybe just once I did some good.
She's gonna nod, think about that for a moment, and say, I'm going to do everything I can to
I know
try
you
to make it make sense for us.
I know you will. You're powerful. And that power comes not just from your own heart, though it is strong, but from your family, from your friends. You will go on to tell great tales, I think.
Sure hope so. I hope we have a great tale to tell. Kind of contingent on stopping the end of the world right now.
I have every faith you can succeed. You have everything you need to do so. Even if, well, he kind of looks away.
Can be honest with me.
He smiles sadly. And he says, Wraith, I'm afraid you're going to have to do this next step without me.
You, feel like you're fading?
He stares off, his thoughts just spinning into that endless expanse, and he says, Everything has an ending, Wraith. It was good to have known you. Be well.
Thank you. I know I don't think anything in life has necessarily an additive or subtractive property. It all just is, but I just want to let you know that whatever I have now, you were huge parts of that. I don't think I could be the person I am now without having met you. I want to thank you.
And you've changed me as well. In the end, we're only the stories we tell each other. Make yours a good one.
In the end, we're only the stories other people tell after we're gone. But, someone who does something they regret and fights like hell to make up for it, I'll tell you, DeGaulle, that's a hell of a story. People always like it.
I hope to hear it one day.
I think you will.
I'll be listening. And he just sort of stares out into that horizon and sun starting to peek up above the mountains. And he just smiles. And he stares and stays that way for a while. And Wraith, you feel yourself drifting back to consciousness. You wake up with a start, and the last thing you can recall is seeing his smile. And then you feel this emptiness, this profound sense of loss in your chest.
Your Wraith wakes up. She, it's quite a moment, then reaches up and brushes tears from the corners of her eyes. So that's all I have for that one.
Mm-hmm.
She understands.
Okay. So the day wears on. Sun rises above Arcadia. You all, one by one, stir to consciousness and make your way down to join your comrades in your dining room, have breakfast, and talk about your plans going forward.
Morning. If you look.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Sorry, you didn't hear that. That's
Oh. She said it was a night.
thought you'd enjoy sleeping in your own bed, but I guess we've been on the road for so long. Kinda weird. Anyway. Where to next? We're heading to, Elysium, right?
Yes.
I'm assuming basically everybody else is at the breakfast table. But,
I would assume so.
I've got my stuff ready, so I'm ready when anybody else is. It's not like we were going to stay for long anyway.
I should be ready too, whenever we decide to go.
Well, I would just like to remind everybody that I can also take us to Elysium, unless Goff wants to do the honors.
Well, I'm just 1 second. Someone was asking me a question.
Like
We're
it's
breakfast chattering about heading to Elysium.
Okay. No, it's fine. I can handle it.
Alright. Well, whenever you guys want to go, just let me know. If anybody else has anything they want to do before we leave. Bueller?
no.
I don't know what's happening.
Hello? Bueller?
Hello?
I said no, I don't really have anything else.
Is everyone muted?
No, I'm sorry. Who asked me a question? I was trying to help. I'm very sorry. I'm not trying to.
That's
I was trying to. Okay.
It wasn't just you. I wasn't hearing from anybody else either.
Sorry,
what-
my brain just like
What
flatlined.
was the last thing that you said?
Essentially, we are ready when you guys are.
Same.
Yeah. I will nod in agreement.
Okay. So you're going to plane shift. Where into Elysium are you plane shifting?
Whatever that village surrounding the True Grove was, I guess, because
Okay.
I don't want to go
All right.
directly.
Well,
into
the whole place is called the True Grove. It's just that
the village surrounding like the Eldas
her seat, basically,
Yes.
her personal grove. Okay.
Someplace that I could remember that wouldn't be
yes.
directly in the middle of like a street where I wouldn't I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe on the outskirts of it, so I don't
Yeah.
plane shift into someone's
Yep.
lunch or something.
Yes, you all gather underneath the cool branches of the storm oak, and within its shade, Goff, you all link hands, and Goff, you invoke your plane shift spell, tearing apart the fabric of reality, stepping through the divine weave, and finding yourself stepping out into this tranquil garden that sits on the outskirts of the True Grove. Before you, you see the humble village where the buildings are essentially these woven natural buildings made of branch and leaf. Almost like they kind of like have an acorn shape almost. And on the exterior, running parallel to the River Oceanus, you see these kind of orchards. That is where you've warped in. There's a few followers of Eldath who are plucking fruit from these trees and just tending to the general business of the day. They do not seem to be particularly surprised by you all warping in as you do. And they know well enough to give one of Eldeth's champions and their allies enough space. So, now that you're here, what do you wish to do?
Is there anyone? Is these are all just normal-looking village folk?
Yep. They've
Was
got
there
sort of
anyone
like a celestial glow to them from, obviously, some of them might be living mortals who were raised in this area, and others might be spirits. But they all generally look fairly normal. You have a mixture of dwarves, elves, gnomes, humans, that sort of thing, like you'd see anywhere.
But there's no one that looks like a village leader or
No, they don't really have leadership.
We didn't spend like much time here.
You
We kind of
didn't.
walked through it, so I don't really know what
It's
the
more of a
structure is.
commune.
Okay. I suppose I will just get the attention of the nearest person who's not too involved in whatever they're doing, whoever that might be.
Okay. You flag down one of the nearby villagers who is picking through some of the fruits. A dwarven woman. She's looks fairly young. Has her brown hair braided back in a single braid that goes down to her torso. Kind of fierce-looking brown eyes, and she sees this extremely towering Goliath and his companions approach. She doesn't look particularly afraid or anything, but smiles at you sweetly and says, "Oh, well, what can I help you with, stranger? I don't think I've met you before. I think I've seen you come through here before, actually, on occasion."
Yes, I came through once, but it was with great purpose, so I did not have much time to linger. And once again, I come through with a purpose, but not such urgency. What is your name? My name is Goff.
Uh, Hilda, it'll do.
Hilda was the name of the dwarf.
Yeah, I know. Hilda's like
no,
the
not
John
Christmas.
Smith of dwarves.
I was just asking if I was remembering correctly. A fine name. We are friends with the Hilda back where we are from.
Oh, we don't know each other, so.
I did not figure as much. That would be ridiculous.
You all know this.
He didn't say that, to be clear.
I know.
That was foul. That was not me.
I know. I'm just goofing.
Anyway, as someone who's only visited once before, I don't know if if asking anyone this question. We are trying to find a passage through to another plane. Is there someone who would know that? Would you know, or is there someone in this village that might know how to navigate to such a place?
Well, that depends on where you're trying to go.
We are trying to find a portal to a place called Ecstasy. It is a gate town in the what's the name of the full plane?
The Outlands.
Of the Outlands.
Oh, you want to go to that place?
For better or worse, yes.
I'm familiar with where you need to go.
You are.
Aye. All the villages are. There's each of the smaller settlements around Elysium has a portal to that gate town.
Not many. Is it
Aye.
frequently traveled?
Sometimes it's a little bit faster than trekking across the countryside.
Ah, I see. Well, I'll have to spend more time here when I am not pressed for time to learn more, but that is great to hear. So, is there a passage around here, or must we travel to another settlement?
I can guide you to it. It's just over here in the woods.
Otherwise,
Come on.
Wonderful.
And,
All right,
and
thank you.
she motions towards you as she starts, with like a pep in her step, starts walking off toward the nearby woods. She guides you into what seems to be a smaller grove. You're noticing as you're going through the countryside here that there are a lot of small groves, little watery pond-like areas with enclosed in trees, very similar to Eldeth's personal grove. She guides you to one such grove, and you step between the tall trees into the center of this place. And what you see at its center is a bit of land that juts up from the center of the pond, sort of like a walkway that leads right into a earthen dais that sits right in the center of this still water. And on this dais is what looks to be almost like a doorway made of vines that are woven with all kinds of colorful flowers. Hilda steps up to this vine wall and pulls it aside as if she was pulling aside a tapestry. And beyond it, you see this swirling, multicolored portal that just gives the vaguest hints of a town beyond it. It's sort of like this overlay that makes it kind of difficult to see its destination, but you can tell on the other side that there is some sort of civilization.
Sweet. I guess as we approach, I'll ask her. Now, have you been to this town before?
I try not to. The townsfolk can be a little little bit tough to deal with sometimes.
Hard to deal with. Are they cruel?
No, they're not cruel. There's no one in these lands who are cruel, but well, when you have four walls and a roof over your head, you tend to think you're a little bit more on the up and up than others.
Tom is struggling to parse what she means by that.
Basically,
she's saying that the people in the town think that they're better than.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like they think so. She's like basically saying the people in this town have a bit of a superiority thing over.
Yeah, but they're not nasty or cruel to one another. I mean,
okay.
Ecstasy is connected to Elysium, and Elysium is a neutral good plane, so everyone is still going to be a good person.
Okay, but she's just sort of like kind of like complaining, gossiping the way that
it's like when the someone from the country goes to the big city kind of thing, you know.
Well, you're not saying like, oh, this person's truly evil. You're saying this person is kind of annoying.
Yeah,
like
she doesn't get along with them.
Right. Okay.
Personally.
Oh, I understand. Different. Some people from different places sometimes are at odds with each other. I get what you mean.
I can't suffer their presence, but they're not bad folk. They'll treat you well.
Are there any other tricks or tips you might offer for entering this place? We've only been to the Outlands once, and that was we were in the middle of the City of Doors, which I imagine is very different.
Well, if you've been to the City of Doors, you've already seen the worst that the Outland has to offer. So you should be all right.
Fair enough. Now, I suppose this may be a question for the people of the village of Ecstasy, but you wouldn't happen to know anything about what was the name of where Ogma is?
The House of Knowledge.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about the House of Knowledge, would you? I know that is not really Elysium's. It's a different place, but have you heard anything about it?
I'm afraid not. No, sorry.
All right, we'll ask further in then. Thank you so much for your help.
Of course.
I'll be sure to seek you out next time I visit just to say hello.
I look forward to it.
Take care, Hilda.
I need someone to share my fruits with.
Oh, gladly.
She's still carrying the basket of fruit that she was. Okay. So she nods to you all, kind of gives you a wave, and heads out with her bushel and heads back to work.
Well, it seems we found our door. I suppose I'll just go in. Not anything to say.
Everyone is so
Yeah.
quiet.
Sorry, no, Brenna said like, "What's?"
Oh, Verna was there for that, wasn't she?
Oh, I think the joke is Brenna was at home.
Oh,
Bureaucracy.
Okay.
it's a cultural thing. Don't worry about it, Verna. And all this group does is break rules.
Yeah.
I think Verna. Now we don't have to discuss this in character, but I think Verna. I think Verna has a guilty pleasure of breaking rules, but only when she thinks it's allowed. It's okay for her to do
I
it.
think that Verna's been hanging around all of you so much and watching you break laws all the time that she has to change her alignment. She can't be lawful good.
I think Verna has liked to be the solitary rule breaker from the beginning, and she just didn't want to admit it.
I think that Verna, when it comes down to it, will break the law in order to do a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that most of the rules that we break are for a good reason because we're doing good things for people, and that some laws and rules are stupid and don't need to exist.
Everyone looks directly at the city of doors.
Those poor bastards. Those poor goat people can't go on vacation.
They don't even have dental.
They don't have health insurance
Was,
because they're immortal.
that was a Shrek joke, Falk.
We're gonna go back to the city of doors. There's gonna be like a union.
There's gonna be you started. The gang starts a socialist uprising.
Which one? Which one was it that we started?
Oh
this
yeah,
time?
we haven't really. We kind of dropped the plot threads on that, didn't we?
Yeah, okay, yeah, one.
Oh well.
It's, to be fair, it's a lot.
It's outside the scope of what we play this game for.
We
Yeah.
don't really have the time to sit around and have conference meetings about how to run a city.
I do not have the brain cells to sit out.
Who would be? Did anyone play SimCity? Sorry, this is getting really off track. I'm being a bad DM.
I didn't play SimCity, no.
There was like these advisors that you could talk to, and the transportation advisor, if you ever cut the funding to the transportation, he would just get really mad and he would say, "You can't cut back on funding. You'll regret this." And I feel like that would be
Oh my god.
that would be Goff. Okay. So that stupid aside finished. You all can make your way through the portal to Ecstasy. When you step out into this town, you find that it's a fairly active town. The first thing you notice as you step out here is the colors feel very vibrant. It's very bright here. You feel this overwhelming sensation of just peace in your soul, basically. As you step here, you feel good. Gazing around, you're actually stepping out onto this white marble plinth that's in the center of the town square. No one really seems to be paying you any mind. It seems like people come in and out of here all the time. You step out onto this plinth from the portal. You notice ringed around this entire plinth are a number of different portals, presumably to other areas of Elysium. Gazing beyond the plinth into the cobblestone streets, you notice beyond that are a number of clustered manor-looking buildings with very classical wood-timbered architecture. And beyond those, you notice a lot of parks and gardens and orchards. The people here seem fairly content. Either moving out to the farms in the outer reaches of the towns or hastening to local inns or taverns for the day. Everyone here seems fairly industrious. But that is what you notice. You're now in the town of Ecstasy, on the outskirts of the Outlands.
Shit. Okay. So this is more of a traditional town than
Yeah.
the village around in the True Grove.
Mm-hmm.
Where would be a good place to find information? Do they have a library, or maybe some kind of?
So I would say that as far as the size of this town, it's probably equivalent in size to. It gives you an impression of like the Crossroads in terms of its size, which means it's not a tiny village, but it's also not a huge city like Arcadia.
Sure.
It's a modest town. Maybe a couple thousand people live here. You don't know what they have as far as amenities. You don't know, like, you can presume they probably have taverns or inns for travelers, but you don't really know if they have like a formalized government. You don't know if they have a library or any sort of civic buildings.
Okay. I guess. So I guess the best option would be to ask a random person who lives here.
Who wants to take the lead on this? Don't all speak up at once.
I can do it.
You okay, Mel?
Well,
Mel?
Sorry. I standing up. Uh, or sitting up.
I'm just imagining Mel laying on the floor with Napstablook the entire time,
Yeah.
staring at the ceiling.
Yeah.
Headphones on. That's me.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Sorry.
What does the group want to do? There's many of you in this group.
Are there what
perhaps we will have to go into one of these inns or taverns to ask questions.
I suppose so. Do they all seem like the same-ish type of inn tavern?
What do you mean by that?
Like, do the inns and taverns seem like there's like people from outside of the town, but I don't know if I'd be able to even tell that.
You wouldn't. You can't just look at someone and be like, that's an outlander.
Human.
I feel like a barkeep is probably going to have be a good source of knowledge, so maybe we could
That's
just
true.
find the first.
Just an inn. Let's
Yeah.
enter one.
Okay. You search up and down the main street. Eventually, a kind of a peculiar sign catches your attention. You see what looks to be like this engraving of a like a purple turnip, and the turnip has a little face with a big old bushy mustache, and the tavern is called the Mustachioed Turnip.
You don't say.
Or what?
So looking inside, you can see that
Oh, Red wasn't here. That explains.
Oh,
it.
that
Oh
is-
yeah,
that
no,
explains-
sorry, I had to.
There were a couple moments where Falco was asking the group questions. It was like only two of us were saying.
Oh
radio
no, I'm sorry.
silenced.
Yeah, no, I had said BRB.
I
I
didn't see it.
Sorry.
I missed it.
I gotta look at the chat sometimes.
How long ago was that? Oh, there
I
it is.
do, but sometimes I'm chat blind and I don't see every message.
I have a lot of things I look at when
Yeah,
I
that's
DM.
fair.
It's hard for me.
Dog in his 3 terabyte Word document.
It's not that big.
Every time I mention it, it's going to get bigger.
It's 969 pages hit now. Nice.
Nice, nice.
Okay. So, you're standing outside this tavern, the Mustachioed Turnip. It seems to have sort of a light clientele, just gazing through the windows. Do you wish to enter? Okay.
Let's go.
You enter and you don't immediately see a bartender. It looks as if the space behind the bar is empty. You do, however, notice that there is a patron at the bar who, as you're entering, this person calls for a drink, and then no sooner that they do so, that up onto the bar top hops a tiny-looking creature that looks kind of, well, what's the term for it? Like a kind of like a miniature dragonborn almost.
Oh.
A kobold?
Yes.
Oh man.
I was thinking. I'm sorry. I was imagining a tiny turnip when you said.
Where's the turnip?
Where's the turnip?
Which one of you motherfuckers is the turnip? And where's your mustache?
You notice that the kobold has a very big mustache similar to the turnip.
Yes.
Good.
Oh yeah. Is the please tell me the kobold's name is Turnip.
You don't know. You haven't talked to them yet.
Okay.
But they do kind of walk over to this patron and fill up their glass with this clear liquid.
Alright. I guess this is the place we're gonna get information, if any place. Oh, sorry, words. I guess if we're gonna get any information, this is where we'll find it.
Maybe. Do you want me to ask the questions, Alan? You seem a bit under the weather.
Maybe. Maybe Ellen's brain is a little scrambled at the moment. I'm sorry. Word processing is not.
Word perfect.
I remember Corel word perfect.
Jesus.
All
Alright.
I
so,
approach the bar counter.
Okay. The kobold finishes filling up this man's glass, and then he turns to you with the same pitcher, and he says, "Yeah, what can I get you, bub?"
I love it.
Sorry.
I already
Just
love the
laughing at-
kobold.
Yeah.
Love the kobold.
I was wondering if you might be able to give us some directions.
Yeah? What kind of directions?
Oh my
Listen,
god.
I got quotas to make here. You want a drink or not?
I've already forgot. Why do I? It's such an easy name. What the fuck? Why do I keep forgetting the name of the dog?
No.
House of Knowledge.
Knowledge.
House. For some reason, he wanted to call it the forest because you mentioned it was a forest. Now, like, all I can think about is the trees. House of Knowledge. Okay. I could buy. Sure. What do they drink in the islands? What's the primary thing they drink
It's
there?
like mead.
Mead, if you have any.
I'll take one too.
Sorry, don't got meat here.
What's
do you
wrong with you?
Dwarven.
No.
Do I look like I supply the devil's drink around here?
Why is it the devil's drink?
Look, we've got water and we've got sparkling water. What do you want?
Wow.
You got milk.
I'll
Do you have
water.
milk?
We have some
Water,
milk.
water's
I'll order
fine.
milk.
My apologies. I did not realize.
It's on the
Things-
house.
The
Things-
devil's drink.
Things are things are different from where we're from.
Oh, that's funny. Sorry.
Anyway, we were wondering if you could point us in the direction of the House of Knowledge.
So the bartender goes about filling up various glasses with non-alcoholic beverages for all of you. It does not take any money from you, actually.
Oh. He has quotas to fill?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
After he finishes doing so, he says,
Yeah, I heard of the place. It's not a place that you just stumble upon or you can go to directly, but you wander around out there long enough, you're gonna come across the Wild Hunt, and they'll take you to it.
The Wild Hunt.
Yeah. Don't do anything wrong out there; they're gonna come down on you. But they do
they-
guide travelers on occasion.
Are they a form of enforcers out there?
Little of column A, little of column B.
I'm assuming that we'll know them when we see them.
Well, you'll know them when you see them. Yeah.
Do they have ham sandwiches?
I-
Verna asked.
"Wait, what?
Verna.
She's Verna's talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
this
you
was-
can order food here as well, and it's a nice ham sandwich with mayonnaise on white bread."
What a
Delicious.
what a classical American snack that they have here in Ecstasy. So to be clear, I know this is a realm of a god, but you're saying that we walk that way and just keep walking until the Wild Hunt finds us.
Better a plan that's as good a plan as any. Yeah. You could search out some villages. You could probably find a few places out there. Just look for chimney smoke.
So there are settlements further out.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we be prepared for how long of a travel would you guess?
Well, that really depends on if it can completely change depending on how far out the House of Knowledge is today.
Lovely.
Could be a few hours, could be a few weeks.
Not sure if we have weeks, but I suppose we don't have much other choice.
Verna, you technically do serve him. Do you think there's any way you could, like, I don't know,
Reach out to him.
Yeah.
Shorten the journey, direct us a little more. Is Patrick here?
I don't know.
Perhaps not.
Oh,
Oh, Vance.
Hattie boy, the pipes. No.
we can't do free word association.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, this good cat and animal pics. Sorry.
Which star? Oh no. Okay.
6?
That is
Return
Return of
of
the
the-
Jedi.
Oh, you're asking which movie it was. Oh, okay.
Combo number 6, please.
I can't believe we did Mambo number 5. Mambo number 6. Discovered it. I told the joke bad. I forgot what it is.
Finally, Mambo number 6. Why? Why did we dare search for Mambo number 7?
I don't know. Who asked for a what
Oh,
again?
yeah, you do serve him. Do you think there's any way you could, like, reach out to him and, like, see
Him
if
being Agma.
yeah, Ogma, and, like, see if he can give us, like, I don't know, a map with directions to his house? So we did because otherwise because he just said it could take weeks.
At the very least, perhaps he could shorten the journey a bit, give us a hint. I don't know. I know only of my goddess and little of others. I may be completely getting it wrong here.
And you do have his stone.
That is true.
Oh.
You know, I'm just now thinking about it.
What's up?
Are you wondering if you could have named the House of Knowledge when we first plane shifted?
No, I couldn't have done that. We've never been there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
that's
need a tuning fork
a tuning fork.
to go straight there.
Oh, never mind.
What?
It's your Verna.
I was thinking maybe I could actually make use of the incredibly situational spell Find the Path, but I am now reading it and it would not have worked.
What does Find the Path do?
The spell allows you to find the shortest, most direct physical route to a specific fixed location that you are familiar with on the same plane of existence.
Ah.
If
You're
you name
neither
a
familiar
destination,
with.
if you name a destination on another plane of existence, a destination that moves, such as a mobile fortress, or a destination that isn't specific, such as a green dragon's lair, the spell fails. I'm almost positive that wherever we're going is not going to. I mean, we're not familiar with it, so
Yeah.
One, we're not
that
familiar
part's
with
already.
it. Two,
Well,
he-
you know it moves, and
Ooh.
you're not familiar with it, so that's
So
strike one
yeah,
and two.
that spell needs to have better uses. Like I was
Well,
thinking
it is
it's a
pretty.
6th level spell, and when are you ever going to use it?
I mean, that's pretty good for like if
But
you're
if you're
lost in the
already
wilderness.
familiar with it, you know
Yeah,
how to
but if
get
you're
there
lost in the
already.
if you're lost in the wilderness and
I
you have
guess.
you have a party composition that doesn't have access to teleportation or anything that can get you there,
I
then
suppose that's true. It's just very so like I don't know.
I mean
Yeah,
that's D&D generally. Like there's a lot of niche spells.
yeah, I know.
Okay. So Verna, you kind of
It's
out
your
loud
Verna.
try to get Agma's attention, knowing that you are if adjacent to his domain. You're not quite in there, but there's no response. It's just the stillness of the tavern, and the bartender, the kobold bartender, kind of looks at the drink that he gave you, and then he says,
I didn't think there was anything in it.
Are you there, Agma? It's
It was worth a shot. Well, are we up for some traveling?
when are we not?
Well,
Let's have our sandwiches. And
"What, Mel?
What?
You turn into a
you gotta get closer to the mic,
you
buddy.
gotta, dude. You gotta get up off the floor."
Let's finish our sandwiches and our drinks and head out.
Okay. So you finish your water or your milk or whatever non-alcoholic drink you've ordered. You take your very plain lunch, your very plain meal, and you hit the road. The gates north out of Ecstasy lead out onto these vast, just pastoral landscapes. You see stretching beyond the edge of the outlands where you are this just endless realm of rolling green hills interspersed with oak groves. Occasionally you make out these lakeside villages that are dotting the horizon, telltale signs of chimney smoke wafting into the air. It appears almost as if the realm beyond the gate towns is just this vast place of endless twilight. The sky fixed in this perpetual kind of that color, the moment just as the sun is going down. You see kind of fireflies flickering about the woodlands, deers grazing along the hillsides, occasionally flocks of sheep being tended to by a shepherd. That is what stretches on before you, seemingly endless.
All right.
Well, for an endless expanse, it could be a lot worse.
Should we just pick a direction, walk, and hope it signs as a wild hunt?
It seems that way.
All right, let's keep a lookout for. We don't know what the wild hunt looked like.
You don't?
Let's keep a lookout for wild and hunt. We know what hunts look like. We know what wild looks like. Hopefully, one of those things or a combination thereof
Good God.
will give
Oh
us.
This
boy.
What is happening? Are we just letting Mel have a moment right now?
This is an interesting way of looking at it, but I suppose you're right. I imagine that, based on how the way the barkeep explained it, that we will see someone that stands out against the landscape.
That's what I hope.
I mean,
Someone that is not a
presumably.
shepherd or a townsperson. Someone who is in garb or on creatures or ships or some kind of transportation that will stand out immediately against this expanse. Sorry.
That sounds like what would be ideal to find. And hopefully they don't try to fight us the moment
Well,
we see them.
if there is a better way, Verna, we have to find it as we walk. Otherwise, we are merely just wasting time if we are just sit here and think about it.
How do you want to approach this?
I could try. The barkeep said that it's
Sorry, Berna.
you want to deliberately get this entity, this group angry with us, to get them to us as quickly as possible.
I'm surprised to hear this coming from you.
God, I'm gonna have to put a combat map together, aren't I? I didn't think you were gonna try to do this, but it's fine.
We haven't agreed to it yet. Verna's she's spitballing.
I mean, by all means, that's D&D, baby.
We don't. In terms of bringing this wild hunt to us, yes, it is efficient. Will it make them help us get where we need to go? Unlikely. I doubt that you're going to summon this group, these whoever they are, with a crime, as you call it, and then they'll be willing to show us to the house of knowledge of all places.
Lauren's here.
Lawrence.
Lauren's here.
I need to put this screenshot in Wiggle. Brenda.
There are a high number of users in your video chat call.
Yeah, the video chat call. that
I
we-
would rather not immediately befoul ourselves of the whatever they are before we've even met them. They may be a great aid to us.
What if... Well, we can start small. We can fill the jug of alchemy with mead and then drink it.
Oh,
I don't.
my
Is that a crime?
I don't know. The kobold seemed to think it was.
It may just be frowned upon. There's a difference between being disliked and being illegal.
Leave the little kobold alone.
Don't. No, we're not. That was out of character. Okay. Hi, Lauren.
Lauren, please look at what I posted in Wiggle chat because that's what you just read.
Verna, let me ask you this question. You are a servant of Ogma to some extent. Yes? What would Ogma want you to do?
What would Ogma
What would your god wish of you into solving this problem?
God damn it, man.
Does the method of your solving the problem matter so much as the end the end result? What would Ogma
Want you to do?
Oh. Did we lose Patrick again?
I
Is
don't
Abby
know.
watching Loud Star Wars again? Oh,
Loud Wars.
Loud Wars.
That is just Star Wars.
Yeah. What does Ogma rule over exactly? Like, what's his domain?
He's a knowledge.
He's a knowledge domain, and I think he's neutral good.
He is neutral.
True neutral.
True neutral. That's why he's in the Outland.
That makes sense.
He is a deity of knowledge. That's his domain. He is the
He know thing.
he likes knowing such stuff, but his knowledge takes all forms, not just practical knowledge, but knowledge of histories, of story, of song, of that kind of thing. He is the patron deity of bards and storytellers.
I mean, every
I keep forgetting that Kellenboy was sick of Ogmish.
Yeah.
every deity, at least in the pantheons of this campaign that we deal with, has some sort of, they've got some like morality or some sort of this is what you should and shouldn't do, or this is what I like.
They
this is
have
what I don't
tenets.
like.
Yep.
Yeah, they have tenets. So like, there's got to be something that Ogba has. That's the kind of the question I was going for. Like, is there something we should not do because it'll displease him? You know what I mean? Like, if we
And
want to get his blessing, like, I don't know. Goth doesn't know. I mean, maybe can I roll a religion check?
Yeah.
Or maybe Verna should do that. I don't. Probably better than I
Ooh,
would have
very
done.
good.
Yeah.
So what do you want to know specifically about Agma? So Agma as a lord of knowledge is a bit different from some of the other knowledge deities. He believes in the distribution of knowledge to all people, regardless of whether that knowledge can be used for good or evil. He believes that the most important thing is that there are no secrets, that knowledge should be freely and widely distributed to all. That contrasts with other deities. There are knowledge deities who are deities of secrets, who believe in hoarding information. There are knowledge deities who believe that while learning is good, forbidden knowledge should be kept away from people. Agmata doesn't believe in that. He believes, very kind of freedom of knowledge, of information for everybody. He also
For your
believes,
local library.
yes. He also believes that he believes that there is a value in knowledge that's more than just facts and records, more than what you would find in a library. He believes that creative things such as stories and songs and performances are also valuable forms of knowledge.
My man.
You say my man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he is worshipped by artists and bards, clerks and inventors, anybody who deals in learning of any kind.
I'm just imagining Verna explaining this, and then in the middle of it, her wraith just goes, "My man."
Woo!
Woo!
Get a load of that god. That god.
So it sounds like the way we solve this problem does not necessarily matter.
So should we travel while Hereth performs, or
Parade? Are we doing parade?
Why does the Wild Hunt? Why did they bring us to the House of Knowledge? Are they?
I think just because they can navigate this place
The House of... I think this is something that you learned when you were investigating Outlands. The House of Knowledge is but one demi-plane among this area. There are more than one. There's more than one deity that lives in this area. A lot of the Celtic deities of other pantheons exist out here.
Sure.
The Wild Hunt sort of just keeps the peace and makes sure that nobody causes any trouble.
But that kobold said that they could bring us to the House of Knowledge.
They
Oh,
could.
they're demi-planes
Yes.
in this place?
Yes.
Verna, do you think you can use your stone to, like, open a thing? It's Ogma's, right?
Like a door?
Like a... I don't know. I'm... I was thinking, like, if Verna's stone is part of Ogma's power, maybe it could, like, open a door, like a weird hole key. I don't know. I don't know if I make any sense.
It would be nice if we could simply open a door directly to where we're going. But I don't think it's going to be that easy this time.
Probably not.
And if the Wild Hunt are merely keepers of the peace, simply getting them to our location may not be enough. I'm not sure we'll be able to talk our way through that.
We could, well, we could try focusing our avatar stones on Verna and seeing if, like, it does.
Verna, you
some-
hold out your avatar stone. What direction do you hold it in?
We want towards neutral, right? If we are in good, neutral good, we want to aim towards true neutral.
Wh-
I don't know.
I don't think it works that way. It sounds like it's random.
I'm throwing ideas out.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, within the countryside that you're currently standing in, like, right behind you as you're walking forward, right behind you is the town of Ecstasy that you just left. Going before you, you see these rolling hillsides with small villages dotting the landscape, occasional lake towns, small woodlands, sheep grazing, deer foraging for food, that kind of thing. Just as far as the eye can see in that direction. If you turn around, you're going back toward the center of the outland where Sigil is.
Towards Sigil would make more sense.
Well, I think
Mel, you are...
now in some case, what you're saying could be like a galaxy brain plan. I do think you're trying to solve a problem more complex than the one we actually have.
that's probably true.
All right, so you point it. You turn around, Verna, and you take your avatar stone. You point it in the direction of the towering mountain in the center of the Outlands where Sigil is. Your stone doesn't respond. It looks dull and lifeless.
I think it's not. I think it's just out there somewhere. And it sounds like every day that can change. So unless we can come up with any clever ideas.
Okay, so you turn slowly, holding your avatar stone out, which is embedded in Donric's amulet, so you kind of hold Donric's amulet up. As you start turning toward the outer horizon and this vast pastoral landscape that spreads out before you, you notice that the stone the stone starts to grow more vibrant and emit this very low-pitched hum.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, would you look at that? Vernon, you have your own compass. Wait, a compass is not a thing already?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, as I said, I didn't want like Goff just mentioned something that didn't exist.
Compasses are
The
old as
magnets
balls.
have not existed.
Yeah,
since
you've made an
2000.
automobile.
Hey guys, let's go for chili dogs.
No, that's B team.
I don't want to.
Yeah, but that's how we made chili dogs exist in this world.
Yeah, it's like how Taco wanted to find how to make a
Yeah.
taco. Steve Chris wanted to make a chili dog.
T. Chris wanted to make the world's best. He wanted to invent pizza.
That's right. He wanted to make
The
pizza.
ultimate circular food is out there.
That's right. It's one of the songs.
Oh my
That's one of
god.
my favorite songs.
Fern, as you start like rotating, you notice even further that you notice that the stone gets brighter and brighter, and the hum starts getting higher in pitch. And then as you start continuing a circle, it starts getting lower in pitch again and growing dimmer and dimmer. It's sort of like a hot cold situation.
Ooh.
So you kind of point it in the direction where it's at its brightest and highest pitch. You notice that it is pointing in the direction of one of the nearby villages. So probably like an hour's walk from you. You can see it in the distance.
Ooh. Let's go. To there. I'm sorry, I really did make this far more complicated.
Yeah, you started being like doing like wordplay shit, and I was like, I don't think it's that complicated. I think we just really need to walk towards something. I don't think it's like, well, we have to find the most neutral point in the Outlands, because that's where the neutral man will be. And like, this is a different story. This is a different puzzle.
There is no response, Verna, but you do as you hold it near your mouth feel like just this vibration coming off of it from the humming stone seems to almost give off like a low level vibration as well. You keep walking. It's fairly uneventful. You see the chimney smoke rising in the distance. You see the sunset skyline reflecting off of this crystal clear lake that borders the village. It takes you probably about 45 minutes to an hour to walk across this tranquil countryside. You're passing like various corralled-in areas where sheep are grazing and just other wild animals that are traipsing through the countryside. And eventually, you come out on the edge of this village. It's a fairly small village, probably a town square that consists of just a well and maybe a dozen houses. As you're getting close to this village, something catches your ear. You hear this tune being played.
You gotta be kidding me.
It sounds really unpleasant.
Oh.
It sounds like someone is playing very off key on some sort of string instrument, and they are singing, and it's like someone is strangling a cat. It just sounds.
Why?
I mean, did any of the information we find say that Agma was good at playing his instrument? Maybe he's really bad at it.
You
I can
think
play
you
his
would
instrument.
figure out how to be better at it over all this time?
I was making it.
I know, I am too.
This may be a ruse. Maybe we're just not used to the aesthetic of the Outlands. This is just in the village we found, right?
This is just in the village you found. You haven't seen who is playing yet or singing.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see who's.
Okay. God damn it, Lauren.
I already made that joke. Scroll and wiggle.
Gotcha. You move further into the village, passing by some of the wooden houses that circle the town square. As you make it into the town square, you see leaning up against the well is a blue-skinned tiefling man who is playing a lute. He's wearing this very foppish outfit, just sort of like these dark royal purple colors with very poofy arms and like a big floppy hat. And he is just belting out these notes. It is ear poison.
Audio poison.
This is audio poison.
Is his name Dandelion? It's a Richard joke.
I know.
I reckon it was good.
Okay.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry.
I said this is named Dandelion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dandelion was actually pretty good at music. I was just the outfit made me think of Dandelion.
Bard derogatory.
So we found the blue tiefling man, and he's
Yeah,
playing terrible
you
music.
found a blue tiefling who's playing really unpleasant music.
Is this music about
Is
anything in particular?
It sounds like he's telling a tale of a famous hero, a person he describes as a tiefling who slew the 9 princes of hell.
Oh.
Wait, what color is the tiefling he's singing
Blue.
about? Oh, blue. Okay.
No, he's not singing about Deep Chris.
For a second, I thought you were singing about Deep Chris.
No, he's singing about himself. He just continues to play over the shouting. He doesn't even seem to have noticed you. He's just in the throes of just giving this absolutely god-awful performance. He just doesn't notice you. He's got his eyes
my
closed.
God.
He is just like singing as loudly and as obnoxiously as he can, and strumming away on this guitar, or this lute, and Hiraeth is someone who is a actual musician.
Yeah.
Oh no.
This is hard to listen to. You
I'm
are
like-
struggling so
I'm in
much.
pain. Curious expression is very bad. And she's like gritting her teeth.
I know that.
We have to do something before I throw something at him.
You actually notice as you're walking to the village that all of the other houses in the village have closed and shut their windows and doors, and no one has gone out into the streets.
I'm slowly reaching for my javelin of lightning.
This was standing back, waiting for her to do it.
Goff just slowly holds his hand out, don't.
Then cast silence on him. I don't want to hear this anymore.
We don't know what will get us in trouble.
Don't let her do it.
Hold on, I'm trying to think about
Wait,
what
wait,
petty
wait.
shit I can do.
Verna, before we
You're having to shout to each other over the sound of this awful, discordant wailing, by the way.
Can we like plug our ears and use our ear?
Yeah, you can try.
Everyone's
Verna,
just...
before you disturb this man, does the stone glow in a different direction, or does it glow here?
like at him.
Yes, or at
it's-
this village.
You're noticing as soon as you entered the village that the glow subsided. It's as if you had reached your destination.
Hmm. Hey, I'm gonna do something.
Okay.
What instrument is this guy playing again?
Loot.
Wait, I'm gonna read the description of this again.
Toss a coin to
It's-
your tiefling.
It's possible this is a trial of some kind.
I don't think I'm allowed to do this because it's not a loose object.
Oh, are you gonna animate
I
me?
No, I wanted to levitate it out of his own reach.
A test of will.
It says that it can levitate a target that weighs up to 500 pounds, so he could like
levitate
hold
him.
on to it and just like levitate. He would have to like hold on to the
You could
Yeah.
onto the
levitate.
loot. Yeah, but then he'd still be playing.
It may be also be it may be a test of patience.
Verna, you touch the man's shoulder and he snaps out of it and stops playing for a moment. And he looks with a bit of surprise first at Verna and then at the rest of you. And then he just gives you this big, wide, toothy grin. And he says, "Ah, patrons of the arts, I see. Welcome, welcome.
Ah,
What brings you to this quaint little village?"
my first thought was glowing rocks.
Well, haha, you found him. Delightful Randall at your service, itinerant
Delightful
bard.
Oh, delightful Randall!
Oh,
Itinerant bard, singer, songwriter, and hero.
Delightful Randall sounds like those purposeful misspellings of Danganronpa.
Donkey.
Wrong. Ah.
Well, you'll find no greater scholar of this realm than delightful Randall. How can I help you?
Um, this is probably pointless, but can I just roll insight check on this guy?
Sure.
Just, I just, not because I just want to like know what his body language tells me.
Sure.
And it's a 17 plus 18
17
is
plus a big number.
17 plus 8. No, that's intimidation. 17 plus 17 is 34.
You have a higher intimidation than insight. I'm confused.
No. I looked at my passive intimidation.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
His body language is relaxed. He seems pretty open. Seems like he's happy to have an audience.
Do you travel the realms often?
That I do, my good woman, that I do. I know all of the outer planes, having journeyed far and wide, slain many a beast in my day as well.
Oh, and Verna showed him a thing.
Oh yeah, so you show the Avatar Stone, which bears an etching of Agma's instrument, and Randall looks at it, and he says, "Ah, you seek the binder, the Lord of all knowledge." I am familiar with him. You seek the House of All Knowledge, then. You are looking for his domain. Well, it's quite a coincidence, my friends. I myself am looking for the House of All Knowledge. You see, I have quite a number of stories to tell of my grand adventures, and I wish to pass this knowledge along so that all may share in it. Perhaps we can journey together. I might have once upon a time. I've met many gods in my days.
Does that sound like bullshit to me?
Make an insight check.
Alright. I don't know shit.
Seems legit.
Seems legit.
Well, I am sure Agma enjoys all kinds of tunes. Seems legit.
Don't know enough about tunes to know whether that's true or false, I guess.
Would my previous insight still be applying?
If you wanted to. Seems legit.
See.
I mean, what is your expectation? That he's lying? Like,
Well, does he believe? Does he?
Yeah, he seems to believe what he's saying.
What he's saying. Okay.
There's like a vein bursting in Hirit's like temple. She's so mad.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Holy shit, Verna.
Don't pass the buck to me like that. So what exactly is being asked of me again?
He has proposed that you travel together because he is also seeking the House of All Knowledge. He looks toward you, Haraith, and he says, "Ah, a fellow storyteller. Perhaps we can rap a bit." And he starts playing his.
Oh
I'll lead off, and he starts playing another awful tune.
This like kind of rocking back on her heels.
I've heard
This'll-
of that before.
This will watch as Hirei slowly die on the inside.
I mean, if we're going to the same place, it only makes sense, huh?
I mean, you're our Lester's leader after all.
Mm. What is that beautiful music? I am looking at everyone like I feel like I've been thrown under the bus a little bit here.
Absolutely been thrown under the bus.
Further to
Also,
throw you
what-
under the bus.
You are one of the 2 people who will be able to lie to him.
I lean over to Harriet and I whisper, like, "Hey, do you want me to be mean?"
Maybe.
So, do we want this guy to not come with us?
I
You'd be
might
very
end up
helpful.
deafening myself.
The Discord deafen button, but on him.
Goff,
You're
We
just walking
server
around
muted
with the mute button, like the
Discord
deafen
mute.
button.
Goff steps up behind Mido and Haraith, and he leans down and he very quietly says, "Need I remind us all, this is where the stone led us. I imagine this is something we're going to have to deal with."
This is probably some weird god test, and it's cruel.
Someone
Shouldn't
who follows a
happen.
goddess to the ends of the earth. It almost certainly is, and unfortunately, Haraith, I believe we're going to have to accompany this man.
He's just some guy with a laugh so hard.
My wisdom has been granted. Whether you choose to take it or not is your choice. And Goff stands back up and he just stands there and waits.
Do you want,
So
do you want me to break
have
his instrument?
What did
maybe
Goff
later?
hears that and he just thinks like, what did I just say?
Maya was like, "What? What?"
So do you have any idea where he is?
Oh, yes, I have a lead, you might say.
Oh?
Why were you
I-
just sending it around then?
Well, if we're to be traveling companions, perhaps we should be off.
Sure. I meant before that, but okay.
Wait, I'm sorry, what were you
I
saying?
meant like if he has a lead, then why was he standing here playing randomly?
Oh, okay. He says, "Oh, well, I was merely enjoying the sunset.
Yeah.
It appears my audience has left me, but I'm happy to have a new one."
Lovely.
And he motions toward you, Wraith. Perhaps a potential musician partner?
Here it just gives like an incredibly pained smile.
Delightful Randall and like I forget where the sentence was going, I'm sorry.
Delightful Randall, Sorcerer's Apprentice.
God, no!
Delightful Randall just DMing every bard he sees going, collab, bro? Collab? Collab?
Yeah.
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 Very well, new comrades. Shall we be off?
After you.
I suppose so.
And Delightful Randall starts skipping down the road off
Holy
into
shit.
the hillsides once more, and just belting out this off-key tune, the song about that he's just making up on the spot, about Delightful Randall's journeys and the adventures he's having with his newfound friends.
Oh
Crystal just
boy.
looks back at
Oh,
the party
boy.
and makes like just this wide-eyed grimace, like holy shit.
It has like a smile but pasted on her face. Like, oh no.
So he has started
Let's
traipsing off. What are the
head
rest of
off.
you doing?
Verna, as we leave town, do you want to just like check with your stone, turn back toward town real quick, and see if make sure that we're not leaving it behind or something?
Yeah. You hold up the stone, kind of scan the area. It seems to be now glowing vibrantly in the direction that Delightful Randall is heading, deep into the woodlands.
Okay.
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 So as you follow, Randall just keeps going with this song that he's making up as he goes, for probably like a good 20 minutes.
Did
Just,
all this really happen?
oh yes, yes, I'm experiencing it right now. This is living history.
Oh, is he singing about meeting us?
Yes.
Real time storytelling.
Times
Very
20.
impressive.
He as he goes along, as he finishes and you ask that question, he says, "Well, do you have any stories to tell? I'm sure travelers such as yourselves, by the looks of you, have some very interesting experiences."
Yeah, you would be right.
Immediate Flesh Factory thoughts. We have a story.
Well, perhaps you would occasion to favor me with a song or story.
Let me think. I guess I'll get my viola out and I'll pluck a few, test the tuning a little bit. And I'm like thinking aloud.
Yeah. So what I'd say is like each of you, as Verna suggested, maybe each of you in turn goes around and just sort of like maybe tells a story from your adventures, like one of the more memorable things to you.
And I will play a little song along with it.
What were, for all of you, the most memorable times on your journeys thus far?
For the characters?
Yeah, for the characters. What would your characters say in this moment? You've been on adventures for a long time. It's been
Coming in strong.
Jesus. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
That took me by surprise.
I can't say it's inaccurate.
It's, it's not.
What would your character say? Like as you're passing the day, the time, the minutes and the hours as you're traveling along through this countryside wilderness, you have some time to talk, to just think and reflect on the challenges and journeys that have brought you here to this point and made you the people that you are today. And what do you think about? What do you say?
Uh, feel like I would have two. Am I allowed to have two?
Yeah.
For me, I think my top two would be the culmination of the Doom timeline plot line and then me not fighting my brother. I think those are mine.
So Hiraeth kind of sings this tale of heroes fallen and lost but remembered.
Yeah.
And then of settling things with your brother in a way that you did not expect. How about the rest of you?
I think Ellen recalls just being able to put her family back together, but then not expecting that she found another family the day while
Aww.
for her old one.
So you tell the story of trying to find your lost children, and in seeking them out, finding new loved ones in the process, and the trials that you endured with them and triumphed with, along with. What do the rest of you say?
Ah, jeez. I'm thinking.
Um, it's hard to pick. I think I'm trying to decide between two different things.
You could be both. Doesn't have to be one.
I would say Goff would talk about. He would describe in simple details the um the uh the battle against his own brother and the extreme restraint that Mido showed in sparing his life despite everything he had done, and how that I'm not sure. The ability for her to make that decision made a huge impact to him. The second thing would be his trial to obtain his stone, primarily the ability to save his mother from perhaps an unjust judgment on her soul, and kind of getting to like getting to give his mother a second chance in her afterlife.
So you tell a tale of a brotherly confrontation on the high seas, settling of accounts, and of a trial to discover yourself within the realm of your goddess, and to redeem those who had been lost.
Yeah.
How about Verna, Mido, and Thistle. I'd say Roscoe probably would tell a tale of
What was the actual question again? Is it like the tales?
just the most memorable adventures
Oh,
that you were the most meaningful to you.
well, you go first with Roscoe then.
Roscoe, I think, would tell a tale about his friends who who jumped into a portal to rescue him.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That
Um,
was probably gonna be my third thing.
risking everything to say to be by his side, and then all of his friends and allies coming to find him again as he completed his monk training and standing by him as he took his final trials.
I think that Mido's. I mean, besides saving Emmeline, would be the time that her and Verna stood side by side and faced Verna's mom together. And just like how proud she is of how far Verna's come.
So you tell a tale of true friendship, of standing by each other's side and seeing things through to the end, and you tell a tale of Emmeline and lost love regained.
Yeah, you just said it better than I would really say it.
I think Cecil talks about the beast of Black Vinewell and feeling kind of a lot lost and alone and a little bit freewheeling, and the relief that she felt getting to see her torn adoptive mother again. I think she also talks about an ill-fated trip to a very nasty mountain
Oh yeah.
that went very poorly very fast, and just how close things were worse possibly been, and how
Hmm.
grateful she was to wake up to that she loved still breathing.
Mm. So you tell a tale of mentors and loved ones that you fought hard to save. You tell a tale of trials and setbacks and future challenges to come. What does Verna tell? So Verna, you and your companions trek and through the woodlands. As you are all in turn telling these stories, delightful Randall is mercifully silent as he listens to it all, and he seems to enjoy it. He seems to be taking it all in, and it passes the time. As you all finish telling your stories, you notice through the woods up ahead a building. It appears to be made out of a plain gray stone, peaked roof with columns, classical, almost like Roman architecture, columns that hold the roof aloft. And there's a large open doorway leading into this building. And as you catch sight of this, sorry, Lauren. As you catch sight of this building, Delightful Randall motions to it and he says, "Well, I believe we have come across one of the libraries of all knowledge."
I'm sorry. What's the current context of what's happening?
You've kind of been telling stories to each other as you've
Right.
been
Right as
traveling.
Patrick started to type his, I had to go use
Yeah.
the restroom.
So as you're kind of wrapping up these stories, you came across a building, this kind of like plain stone building, with Roman architecture style columns.
Uh-huh.
And Randall has pointed it out and said that you have arrived at one of the libraries of all knowledge.
Oh.
Does it look impressive?
It looks humble.
You know, for a library of all knowledge, I expected it a little more.
Well, the true wonder is in the stories and knowledge within these walls.
I suppose so.
Do you think they have Captain Underpants in there?
I'm sure the more billions of these we go through, Lord, eventually we're gonna find Captain Underpants.
Always checked out the library.
God.
Lieutenant Undertunic.
Lord Undertunic.
Duke Under. Wait, no, it would be Duke Smallclothes.
Randall smiles at you, Vern, and he says, "A good story is always a good way to pass the time. Although I'm sure you've come here to meet the Binder, the Lord of all knowledge. Perhaps we can find more information within."
Uh,
Okay. So what do you do in this moment?
Go inside?
Okay. Um, yeah, the amulet is glowing.
Right. Let's head in.
Okay. You step into the building, and it's an open door. There's no doorway. There's no actual doors on it. It's just an open doorway. You step within this building. It is. You find actually that it's a very kind of open air library. There's a lot of light coming in through the various columns into the building. The room itself is lined with rows upon rows of bookshelves, naturally. You see that the entire, every single bookshelf is just packed with books. Large volumes, small volumes. It's quite. There's, you get like the smell of parchment as you enter. However, you realize that no one else seems to be in this building.
Wonder if it's normal for it to be so empty.
Clearly this means we all have free reign.
I'm keeping an eye on Cecil.
Doot, 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 doot.
God.
We all keep an eye on Sissel.
What do you do?
There doesn't seem to be any system to it, does there?
I didn't understand what you said.
Or does there seem to be like any sort of system around it?
A system? Like,
The way the
There's-
books are organized.
organized.
they seem to have numbers on the bindings. Like volumes.
Huh. I'll,
And they seem to be color coded as well.
oh.
So there's like a 1 through X with blue covers, and then there's one with red covers, and so on and so forth.
Okay. There's no way of telling what the numbers or covered colors mean, I'm guessing.
No.
I'll pick up purple 3 and open it.
Okay. You pull open the book, and you start reading what appears to be a story about a elven mercenary who lost her wife and found her way to the city of Arcadia.
Mido?
Well, that's weird.
Tell me if this sounds familiar.
What?
And
You just start reading. It's the story of Mido's life.
But from
Doesn't
the
ring a bell.
timeline, it's from a timeline that we rewrote. It's from the
Our
previous.
Wait,
Yeah.
is it the
Yep.
rewritten timeline or
No,
It's
it is the old
original
timeline.
It's the original timeline.
It's our time.
Because in the rewritten timeline, Emmeline was never lost,
Yep. That is correct.
which means this knowledge, if this is indeed one of the actual libraries of knowledge, it also has recordings of knowledge of timelines that have been changed or left or splintered.
Mm-hmm.
Mido says doesn't ring a bell, but she's like joking. But then she's like, "Wait a minute, that should be different now, right?"
Yeah.
That's curious.
Guess all knowledge doesn't discriminate.
Jesus.
Patrick. No, it gets or Ellen turns the page where Mito fails to like flirt with Emmeline, and like she grabs the book and closes it. It's that's enough knowledge. It's forbidden. And I put it back on the shelf.
Okay.
Are
That's when she was like deep in like the night stuff, and she was just like too lazy to cook her own food, so she like got a
God.
sandwich, and then like she almost threw it out on accident, and then like grabbed it, and no one was
Oh,
looking, so she did
no.
that. But
Oh my
like
god.
Terrible.
it was fine. She didn't get sick. It's fine. But no one ever knew about that, and no one ever will because
Can't
she closed
believe
the book.
Mito was a Western RPG protagonist.
yes?
God, how many times
This
has
is so
anyone else in here
complex.
done that? Has anyone else here done that on a constant basis, where you
What?
throw out the microwave
Oh,
instructions?
basically every time.
No.
Good texts.
I don't need this anymore, I say, throwing it out.
Only some.
Okay. So you put the book away.
Okay. Are all of these us? Ellen opens another book.
Which one do you open?
How?
I opened purple 3. Let's go with red 6.
Okay. You pull it open and you start reading the fairly unsettling first-person thought process of a young sorceress who lived with a alchemist out in the ebony thicket.
Oh. Cisco, I think this one's you.
Oh. Good.
Is it a page turner?
Hmm. I'd read it. Oh, I am reading it.
So, you said there was some kind of color system?
Yeah.
What is it again?
So there's numbered volumes, and they're, like 1 through whatever, and there's different colors. So like there's a red 1 through whatever, there's a purple 1 through whatever, etc.
Is it just the traditional like 6 or 7 rainbow colors, or is
No,
there
there's a dark red, there's a yellow, there's a purple, there's a lighter blue, and then a more robust blue, and then sort of like a duller blue.
which blue is me? That's,
What, Goff?
yeah.
Yours is yellow.
Oh yeah, that's true because I knew where yellow is the color.
Wait. Are they our text colors?
Wait.
Oh,
my god.
oh, you guys.
Oh
are kidding me.
my
Yeah.
I can't. This is like when the video game characters talk to you about like it's the fucking Metal Gear Solid with
Hey,
like
Jeff, this is Tony, but I don't want to speak to Jeff right now.
What?
I'm talking to you.
what happens if I pick up Yellow Book 8?
Okay. You start reading your own thought process from when you had just escaped to the mainland after fleeing the Isles and had been found by Liza.
And that's all the books in here are just these books.
Yeah.
You need to convince.
I'm not sure how I feel about a building just for experiences, and I didn't write this, so what is this?
Maybe that's what
No,
we
that's a book, Goff.
No,
Knowledge.
Mito has the worst shit-eating grin on her face.
It's a book, Luigi.
You didn't write it.
write it.
It's a tome, Mito. What? Chiseled it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, as you go through these books, it's not just your tales. Although many of them have similar origins, you also find tales of other alternate yous.
Oh.
Is that guy still here?
Do you check? He didn't go inside with you.
Fine. Why?
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 Yeah. I'm gonna poke my head out. Is he still there?
As you start heading toward the door, you hear a lute playing. This lute sounds a lot more pleasant.
Hmm.
You actually all hear this now. You hear this very soothing, elegant melody playing through the gentle breeze and filling up the space around you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I probably don't continue if I hear a song from within the building.
Oh,
I
from
probably
within
It's
the building.
outside.
Okay.
It's
I
outside.
Oh, it's outside.
It's coming from
Okay.
outside, but it's such a melodic tune that is just sort of wafting through this whole space. The acoustics here are fantastic.
Sissel was dark red. I saw hers. I know Mito was purple. I saw hers.
Yeah. Well, a random book could mean a whole lot of things in this place. Actually,
I don't think it matters. I think she's trying to figure out what she just asked.
oh,
Is there an ending, or is it being written indefinitely?
I see. So you're looking through it. So you like grab one of the highest numbered volumes of a particular series, and it seems to be ongoing. In fact, like you grab, for example, this light blue color, which you quickly realize is your own. And as you get to the very end of the final book, you realize it's telling the tale of the stories you just told to one another as you were walking here, and then you entering this building and discovering what it contained.
Freaky.
Well, when they
So-
said
so-
all
So
knowledge.
the book is in the middle of being written. It doesn't go
Yes.
on into the future. Okay.
It is continuing to be written, at least your version is. There are other ones that have completed because those timelines have ended.
Shall we check out that music?
You didn't come through, Mel.
Should we check out the music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sissel has already followed off outside.
Yeah, I also will have gone to see.
Okay. You all one by one exit the library and back into the woods and follow the source of the music. What you find is a they seem handwritten, Berna, in a very elegant handwriting. What you see as you step out into the woods and you follow the source of the lute playing, you find a man who is reclining against a tree playing a silver-stringed lute. He is wearing this shining silver breastplate. He's sort of dark-skinned. He has silver hair that is braided into dreadlocks that run down the center of his back. And he just has his eyes closed, and he is just playing this gentle tune.
We've seen this guy before.
You have. You saw him the time that Goth received his Avatar Stone and Eldath summoned the other deities to witness.
Hi.
Well, hi.
Well, hi.
Ah,
There it
I'm
comes.
just
Sorry, I
making
just thought of the
I'm just
cat.
making some cookies.
Hey, are you all
Jesus.
right?
Holy
You want
shit.
some?
There she is again.
Well, it seems it seems like we didn't need to tell you such stories if you'd already known them.
The man
Goth folds his arms. He says that.
The man chuckles slightly and he says, "All the same, I wanted to hear it from you."
First-hand account is perspective is very important.
We are in the end nothing but stories.
Oh, narrative parallels.
Hmm.
That was just someone just said that earlier today.
Yeah.
I
Really
wonder
makes you
who.
think.
Really makes you think.
Fuck off.
It's good writing.
I look forward to writing your continued tale as you live it. But that's not why you've come. Agma smiles and he says, "You're always welcome in my libraries." Verna, you were a curious case for me. I was quite surprised when you chose me as your deity. After all, for a long time you believed in documenting and classifying information, not sharing it. For a long time you kept your own thoughts and feelings close to yourself, never opening up. But I sense you've changed. And he just smiles warmly at you. You've changed greatly. Oh yes, we are always a work in progress. Always revisions to be had. He nods and he closes his eyes and he says, "Well, you've You've given me a great gift today already, so it is only fair that I give you one in return. You've given me the blessing of your story, so it is only fair that I give you the blessing of my song. He plays he continues playing that melody on his lute, finishing it with a gentle sound that drifts off into the nearby woods, and then he runs a finger along one of the strings and then plucks the string from the lute, and he extends the silver string of his lute toward you. He releases it as you take it, and he says, I hope this leads you to even more wonderful stories, tales to tell around a campfire, or to write about for those to read in ages to come.
Oh.
Verna's journal?
Are you
Aw.
asking to take one of the books from the library, or I'm confused? Sorry.
Oh wait, it's a journal, not the journal. How many journals does Verna have? I've always
I'm
imagined.
sure
A
Verna has a lot of journals.
million! A million!
I always thought she had like one. I think
That'd be a very big
What,
journal.
what were you
very
interested
densely
in?
packed journal.
He smiles gently at you and he says, the knowledge is open to all for those who seek it. And what book did you want to grab? It's not impossible. It's not impossible, but it is quite an endeavor. There are so many complexly interwoven strands that make up our metaverse, where one story ends, another begins. You could be in these libraries reading for eternity, well beyond your own lifetime. But you are always welcome to come back if it is what you wish to do. And the door will be waiting for you. Okay. So you return to the rest of the party with Agma's blessing in hand. Make ready to leave. So, I'm assuming since Goff already used the plane shift that Sissel would have to do it
Yeah.
instead.
You have the button, the Walden button.
That's teleportation. That's not going to get you to another plane.
The wormhole.
Does that work across planes?
Yes, it does.
Did I say it did? Damn, I should have written down shit.
What did you say?
Yeah, we have two Walden teleportation devices. There's the one that is
The Walden's wormhole.
and then the wormhole that takes us back to the Snapdragon.
All it says.
Oh, the return
The only
button.
thing I have listed here is it says once per day transport all associated entities to a safe location of their specifying. Yeah, it doesn't really specify whether it has to be on the same plane. That's a
Does the
oversight on
Tangler
mine.
have to be on the same plane?
Yes, because it mimics teleportation.
And teleportation is also restricted by that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I think you said the wormhole is literally from anywhere because it's a
The wormhole was cheaper than the other one, so it wouldn't make sense for it to be strictly
Oh.
better. Well, I guess
It's not better,
It's
it
going
only
to a
goes one
single
spot.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what? Yeah,
we
I think that's how I
other ways of
intended it.
getting back if we need to. It's
I
not
think
the
that's
end
how I
of the
intended. If you
world.
want to use the Walden wormhole to go straight, well, because you have to. I figured
Well,
you have to go to Orda Newell, so I
You
figured you
have
would
to
just
go
plane shift
order
here.
null, so yeah, maybe it would be better for Sissel to cast. Because you can go straight to the circle, right?
Yes.
With
Yep.
plane shift?
Okie dokie.
Okay, so that's what Sissel is gonna take her staff of the Archmagus and just strike it on the ground.
Her relic
and
weapon.
the fabric of reality rips open around you, and you are all pulled through the plane shift into the waiting halls of Ordanul. And as you are leaving the Outlands and leaving the House of All Knowledge, the last thing you hear as the portal closes behind you is Agma's gentle melody and his words, and he says to you, "Make your ending a good one, Blue Hearts." And that's where we're going to conclude tonight's session.
Aw.
Oh.
Thanks, Bard Grandpa.
I'm sorry, I thought your music was bad.
He was doing it on
Because it
purpose.
was.
Yeah, I know.
He was just fucking with us a little bit to have
Yeah.
some fun.
I figured, but it was.
Agma has big Hoyt energy.
Yeah,
Who?
I was thinking that.
Who's
It was
that?
Wonderwall.
It's a character
Cosmere
from.
it's a character that is in almost every single Cosmere book.
It's
Oh,
like
okay.
Sanderson's favorite OC, who's this like very chaotic bisexual bard who like
He's a world
collects
hopper.
magic system from every single planet.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he has his fingers in a lot of pies, and he's always
Yeah.
very mysterious and powerful.
Yeah, if you see
Specifically,
like
the cup noodle pie.
I'll get to that stuff eventually.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
wanted
You
to
might
give
have
an honorable
already.
credit
I don't know
a-
if he's
a
in.
month.
I think
Miss-
Falk would really like.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in the
really
first
like
Mistborn
him.
book. I think he might be. If you ever see like a weirdly specific homeless dude, or like any sort of like
He's in the
kinda
first Stormlight book. Oh, in the first
No.
Mistborn
Mistborn
book.
book. If
I
he's
do
in, like-
not remember.
if
Maybe
he's in
not.
like a creepy bard or like any sort of like dude who's gonna tell you a weird cryptic story, probably
Oh, he's always
Void.
telling stories.
He's always telling stories. He is always telling some weird he's always saying some weird cryptic shit.
So
Yeah,
That's really cool.
I really love that Verna picked Dogma.
yeah, it seems like a weird choice in the beginning, but then like it makes sense for the character development.
Yeah.
Mhm. Now it's public knowledge that she has an oath of vengeance on you.
Oh yeah, the hell.
Yeah. I had all the various little stories in there of like other Blue Heart groups that failed
Oh,
and like some of the weird stuff that happened to them.
Oh.
Like I had a bunch of different alternate timelines where like different things happened at different stages that got messed up. So like a tiny deviation, it was like a butterfly
Well,
effect
if you
kind of
want to
thing.
share, I'd
I mean,
listen.
if you want, yeah. Let me.
Yeah.
I am curious.
I had written them down because I had also intended them to be like groups of refugees you might have met in Sigil,
Oh
Oh
yeah.
and
yeah.
y'all were just like, no, let's not open that can of worms. Let me
We
see.
just accidentally come across a bunch of alternate versions of ourselves.
Like whoops.
Uh,
Oopsies.
Sorry
yeah.
about that.
Well, no, they had they and Sigil specifically had a neighborhood that all of them lived in because they were basically just like
There's a neighborhood of us.
a
Wow.
neighborhood of
That's
all y'all.
fucked up.
That's
That's like a
depressing.
that sounds like a psychological experiment. That sounds like something the government would
Let me
do.
see. I had
You
a
know,
few
it
of them. I had
sounds
like
like
maybe 4 or 5. Let me look at them.
Homestuck Dream Bubbles.
Like
Yeah, I had.
I
That's
feel like
like
hanging out in a
literally
neighborhood,
it.
Literally it.
neighborhood of like a few dozen different versions of myself
I
would
had
drive me
okay,
insane.
all right, all right. I made about 5 of them.
It's like the Gary Vault.
Um, I made about 5 of them. These are all like Doom timeline things, so it's all gonna be kind of fucky. Um, one of them I called the successors. They were 30 years age versions of Luma, Alarin, Elise, Koria, Cecil, Wizard, Arya, and Vila Azur, the Black Song, who were from a timeline when the Blue Hearts died at the Throne of the World and Ganadar won.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, all of them in a group?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I had another group I called the Instigators. They were from a timeline where the Blue Hearts were not the heroes, but in fact the villains.
Ooh.
They were
Ah.
corrupted by the Gray Man's orbs. They became instruments of his will, and
Uh-oh.
then
My villain
after
academia.
they helped usher in the fall of the Pale Moon, and or not the Pale Moon, not the fall of the Pale Moon, usher in Ganadar, the Gray Man released them from servitude, and they fled in disgrace.
Oh,
That
rough.
that
That did hurt.
I can't even imagine Goff continuing to want to live after that.
There's the Blue Scales, which is a timeline where the Dragonborn civilization expanded out from Orda Newell and colonized all of Athara, and they were Dragonborn versions of the Blue Hearts.
Oh shit.
Hell yeah.
And Anna, and they worked with Anna, who was an elder of Orda Newell, and they succeeded in destroying the Pale Moon with their superior technology. But the fallout from blowing up the moon coated all of Athara in its dust, giving rise to an undead plague that ravaged the entire world.
Holy shit.
Oof.
Fallout New
Yeah.
Arcadia.
Then I have the Revenants. This is one where the Blue Hearts fell in battle to the Gray Man, but then Liza, Anna, Walden, Jack, and Ellen's parents sacrificed their lives to Kalimvor through a ritual to give them another chance, and they were brought back as immortal
Oh.
Revenants.
Oh.
Oh.
But they couldn't right the wrongs anymore, so they were not able to succeed. And the final one was the Blue Paws, which are dog versions of you who came from Arcadia.
The paw.
Arcadia.
And
I don't. Yeah, that sounds like some psychological nightmare can of worms I would not want to open.
except for the Blue Paws, they were
So
good.
that would have been fun. The rest of them would have just been really, really sad.
Yeah.
That Gray Man control thing would have. That makes me think sick just thinking about the concept of it. I don't want to think.
Yeah, it's hero corruption stuff.
I like hero corruption where it makes things bad for a while, but ultimately does not result in the
Right.
hero losing completely. If it's hero corruption where they just lose
Yeah.
completely, everything sucks.
No, I
I'm not
understand.
about
Like these are
that.
all failed timelines, which is why.
No. I'm just saying, I liked the light stuff with the Warrior of Light and Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
This is like the hero's suffering, but ultimately, even at the very last second, they managed to pull through due to some plot reason. But in this one, it sounds like that doesn't happen. They just get corrupted, and then everything fucks up, and then by the time that they're clear-headed again, nothing, they can't do anything anymore. Which is yeah.
It's all bad dark timelines, which
Yeah.
you are trying to prevent from happening. So far, none of those things have happened in your timeline.
It's a goal.
Yeah.
Shit.
We
want to hop over?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop recording.
Okay.